is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Episode 164 tonight, presented by Cosmic DG. Go check them out at cosmicdg.com, Cosmic Disc Golf. We are starting 30 minutes late, and the reason is because we have such an incredible guest tonight that he just showed up. I'm just kidding. We are dealing with stuff on our end, but it seems like we have it figured out. So we're hoping that
when you say we, what does that mean exactly?
We, as in Casey and I, are just sitting here, and Ben and Matt are trying to diagnose all the problems all at once. And I'm just like, hey, when we go live, we go live. So we're hoping that we're not going to have any issues anymore. We're going to talk a little disc golf. We got some fun games again tonight. It's the off season, so not too much has been thrown around, I think, in the disc golf world. I know that Casey over here, we actually do have him in studio, so whenever we want to pop him up. We also have Evan in New Hampshire.
Evan,
so give us 1 second because Casey right now is the logo of the Nick and Matt, and that's not Casey.
It's okay, everybody.
That is Nick and Matt.
Just so our live audience knows, we're having technical issues. The recording audience, people listening, which is majority, 95% of our listeners, are hearing a great show. So, how you doing, Casey?
You didn't tell me I wasn't supposed to wear all green.
Oh yeah, you just disappear. Yeah. You can go to him blank up. I mean, might
blank
as well.
Up. Yeah, there I am.
Here is Casey White, everybody, in the flesh.
I wore my green suit.
You wore the green suit. All right. Well, I'm going to work on this a little bit here, but let's talk about a few things as I get to work on the tech because we didn't want to keep everybody held up here. Las Vegas Challenge shifted to May 9th and 10th. You're a touring player, Casey. Does that appeal to you? It's Mother's Day weekend. What do you think about this whole thing, first of all, with it jumping off tour and on tour? Let's get right into it.
I mean, am I glad that I don't have to drive 48 hours before I even get to play a tournament? Absolutely. Am I sad that I don't get to indulge in the Las Vegas festivities to start my year with all my friends that I haven't seen in a couple months? Yeah, I am upset about that. However, it's like you win some, you lose some. If I really want to take that week and still hit up Las Vegas and play the tournament for the 7th year in a row or however many times I've played it, then I might. I haven't decided yet, but I think that the flow of the tour just works better now, and I'm no complaints here.
Nice.
I haven't gone over the whole A-tier schedule, but I heard that it was the same weekend as the 303 Open.
Yeah,
so
that's there.
It's at what Badlands again?
Or
I would play 0 tournaments before I played 303. I think. Well, yeah, they used to have it at
Tell me your thoughts on
Budweiser.
Badlands.
They used to have it at Budweiser. I think they moved it to Badlands last year. But I haven't played it since 2021 anyway. When I am in the Fort Collins, Denver area, that's the Discmania headquarters. So I have more fun hanging out with my warehouse friends and just the whole Discmania crew playing their league rounds and going through the warehouse more than trying to be there to compete.
we're getting told that we have echo. Who is echoing, Chad?
Oh,
okay.
we just got it.
iPhone.
We just got it. It wasn't the whole time, but yes. Okay. As soon as I fixed Casey, because you're green, you took off your green suit.
I changed my clothes.
As soon as I fixed him, we got echo. So, in all seriousness, those fans of the show, Nick started it out saying we're having issues, and I was like, don't tell them. They're not going to have any more issues. So they don't need to know. But now we're continuing to have issues, so we apologize for that. But we seem to be. Knock on wood, everybody, collectively, wherever you are. Knock, knock, knock. All right, cool. How about, I think we were off air in between bad tech issues and not, but JJ and TJ, 2 different players. One was in the NFL. One is still connected to the NFL, and one's actively playing in the NFL. TJ Watt, JJ Watt. They posted their social media and said their golf game, their disc golf game is about as good as their golf game. Trash. Yeah. So my initial reaction is it's always cool to see people finding it. But the only hesitation I have when I see something like that, I'm not a gatekeeper of disc golf at all. I'm like everybody. I want everybody to find it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I feel like they would be more likely to return to disc golf as for fun if somebody was with them that could throw. Even if it's Tanner, my son Tanner, because like, I don't know if maybe they've watched videos, but I don't know if they know what can be done with it. And so if they're just like yucking a disc up in the air, like, are they like, yeah, this is horrible?
I have a feeling.
What do you think?
I have a feeling that the presence of a decent thrower or not doesn't really have anything to do with it. The thing
If they would want to come back, you're saying?
The thing, yeah, of course. The thing that I do worry about though is like the onslaught of DMs and incoming messages just from anyone and everyone. Like, I don't even know. They're like, oh wow, the disc golf community, they're like way too over the top. Like we just did that one time. Like we were never planning on playing again. And like, you know what? Now we're never definitely.
Where'd they get their disc from? I mean, the Nick and Matt show wants to land the interview. I'd ask them where they got their disc from. Dicks?
Probably. Sports Authority, man.
Walmart. I mean, they might live near a pro shop.
Did anybody see what they were throwing?
No idea. Maybe an end of a disc.
Nose up hyzers.
Yeah.
It looked like
something blue. That's all I know.
If you look it up, I thought it looked MVP. Maybe it does. Maybe it is.
I don't think so.
Well, I say that joke is the best part of this post to me was I think TJ posted it on Instagram. So different than JJ's Twitter post, which got creamed.
Yeah, I
The
think
TJ's Instagram post was just, I think I couldn't tell which one. They look similar. They're big, bulky football guys, but just in the woods looking for a disc and could not find it. And all you hear is like, oh, I don't know, like it's blue, and that's all you hear. And I'm just like, that's every single one of us when we start disc golf. It's the most relatable post I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I say all news is good news.
Mhm.
This is good for disc golf, no matter if they could be better if they're playing with someone, no matter if there's everyone responding to DMs. That's not how the saying goes, excuse me. But I say it's good overall. So I love seeing it. And I'll say something in the Pittsburgh waters, because Casey DeSmith, who no longer plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but when he did, he was an avid disc golfer, the hockey goalie with the basket on his helmet, Pittsburgh area. So they got some awesome courses there. Get some pros to play disc golf. That's pretty cool.
So I think I just looked it up and maybe I changed my mind. It might look like Innova.
I think he's throwing a Skywalker actually.
Okay. Yeah. So my thought on this is you guys talk about anybody and everybody and they're over the top.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, Discraft has celebrity team players. Innova has celebrity team players. Who else?
Not Discmania.
Okay, not Discmania.
Dynamic has Casey DeSmith.
Yeah.
But so we're saying they're over the top, but should we collectively as a group of people just be like, hey, just let the manufacturers handle the contact? You know what I mean? Like, who should it be?
No, everybody's
just let the
excited.
people play disc golf.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, as the Nick and Matt show, like, we're going to reach out and try to get an interview. I'm saying, like, why would we not?
I would also like to add a fact about Casey DeSmith.
And I want to hear that argument, why we would not.
Casey DeSmith resided
You have nothing
in
to
Pittsburgh
say.
while he played for the Penguins, but he's actually from Rochester, New Hampshire. And his home course is
Yes, he
Salmon
is. Live free or
Falls.
die.
And he is unfortunately a Canadians fan, being from Southern New Hampshire, which doesn't make much sense, but it's a family thing. I get
Kick
it.
him out of here.
Seriously, do you see a reason why we wouldn't go up for an interview? Because I'm hearing this other side of the debate from the other side of the room.
If we message them
Mhm.
on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
then by all means, we'll go for it. Let's go for it.
I mean,
I'm going to do it right
shoot
now.
a shot, shoot a shoot.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
I get it.
This
Shoot
is
or
what Matt's
shoot.
saying.
But a minute
is
ago,
try.
I understand.
Why
Yeah.
not try?
No,
But
If
a
we
minute
got
ago,
him,
100% try.
valuable.
It's just, it's another thing of like,
I was hearing
these
just a
people
minute
might
ago.
have just
Like,
wanted to post a picture saying, "Hey, we're outside, we're doing something fun,"
okay,
and
I
then you
gotta-
get
I gotta
every
stop here.
say it, Evan.
you have
I'm so happy.
Every
No.
single pro and their
He's
mother.
a celebrity.
Yes.
Every single
He is a
pro and their
celebrity.
mother.
That's what happens. That's his
Hey,
life.
why
He's an
do we
American
want him
football
on
player
for
in America?
Why do we want him
If
on
Tom
for an
Brady
interview?
walks down the street, if Tom Brady walks down the street and somebody goes, "Oh my goodness, it's Tom Brady," are you going to go up to him and be like, "Hey, no, that makes people look weird"? Nope. You're from New England. New Englanders aren't like that. We don't want people not to like New Englanders because you get excited about a celebrity. You don't say that. You let someone be them and get all excited. You might do something different.
Why?
That's okay.
Why do we want to have him on
Sorry
the
to
show?
get so angry at this.
Why do we want to have him on the show?
I love how we just got so amped.
No, it's just like why?
Why?
do we want to have him on
so
the
the
show?
Nick
It's good
and
content.
Yep.
It's
So
clout.
no,
Yeah,
it's
yes.
good content.
It's good
No,
content.
I would be very interested to hear what he says.
A
Yeah,
million
about disc
percent.
golf.
Like having on Andrew
I'm
Zimmern. Why did we do
wanna
that?
hear
Why
it.
do we have on anybody we,
We
have?
talk about his football
Andrew
career,
Zimmern
too.
is actually like doing stuff.
This
in
is
the
very
sport of disc golf.
possible that this is their intro and like it'd be interesting. Like, how about Teddy Bruschi? Like, I think that'd be a great interview
Who had?
as well.
Yeah, I agree.
He
I
enjoys
think all of
disc
these
golf.
people would be good interviews, but it's just when one picture gets posted of them playing.
But
disc
why
golf,
did they post it?
It's maybe just to say I'm going out and having fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
why does any pro
possible.
player
He's a
post
celebrity.
anything?
He knows
Yeah.
everything he's doing. His social media is like, it's not him posting for fun. It's him trying to grow everything about him.
Mhm.
Like he's trying to be a lovable, fun guy who's in retired, who has now a TV career. That's a post to say, hey, I do fun things and I'm not good at everything. I'm good at football, but I'm trash at disc golf. I'm trash at golf, but I have fun with my brother. Like that's literally, it's him to be like, it's him to make look good. Like that's the whole post. Like
We'll go with
it's
that.
not him sending
Yeah.
a text to his friends and being like, "Oh, I tried disc golf. It's so cool." Like it's not like that. He's posted it on social media. Like he's a celebrity with, I would bet, over 1 million followers. That's what happens.
I am literally messaging him right now. We should place bets. Everybody should place bets. And I'm telling him half the show doesn't think he'll answer. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, maybe we gotta get in touch with his like agent or something.
And when we interview them, they can't be in the room. Can we place that bet now?
Casey,
I'll
yeah,
probably meet him in
Casey can't
person.
be in the room.
Well, there's no room on the couch. I mean, if we're gonna get both of them on the show, I can't just be sitting here on the couch.
No, you can't actually.
Next time, JJ Watson, Lester Mass, we'll have him on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Right here on the couch.
True. No, this was a fun segment, guys. I just find it really interesting. Like, we're an interview show. And Evan, you agree with me.
Yeah, I think it would be
I
a
agree
home
with you
run
too.
interview.
Yeah,
I'm also
it'd be
so
sick.
amped. Nick, bring any subject and I'm going to tear you down. Let's go.
any subject.
To be okay, to have full perspective here, I know what Nick, and I don't know if I'm putting words in Casey's mouth. Like, I know what you're getting at. Like, I can see that side of it where you're like, just leave people alone.
Nah, I was playing around.
And that's, yeah.
I was just like trying to.
I'm not as much.
Yeah.
It's partly because, and I say this with all seriousness, you are friends with people who are celebrities.
Mhm.
And so you have a unique perspective, I think, compared to most, where you're like, I'm like, why are we hitting them up? They're getting hit up all the time. Like, just leave them alone.
Yeah, you guys
Am
are
I
friends.
sticking words in your mouth?
No,
Is that like
alright,
the perspective you're bringing?
I
Yeah,
have
more
a-
so, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a comparison for
It's-
you.
Go ahead.
When Simon shows up to freaking, I don't even know,
Anywhere.
South Dakota, who's never stepped foot there before, posts a picture from this one course that he happened to play in South Dakota. And he gets 1,000 messages from all the locals of that course saying, Simon, I'll be there tomorrow at 1 p.m. Like,
Yeah,
please
come
come
out,
play with me.
play.
Like, there's
Yeah.
a 0.0% chance that he comes out to play that course. He just like happened to post that picture that one time. So like the way I see it, that's awesome that they posted it for the first time. He's got a lot of followers, people who never heard of disc golf in any way, shape, or form. And even like the translation to the fact that it's similar to golf, like just to get that point across is really good. However, like I'll consider it a win when he posts the second time
Mhm.
playing disc golf.
Which is where
I agree there.
Yes, which is where I kind of started that conversation. And I'm interested in you elaborating a little bit more, Casey, on this, because I said I felt like if you go with someone, I can remember my first time seeing somebody else throw besides me, and I thought it was magic. I saw a hyzer flip. And I was like,
Right.
what just happened? The disc went out at this angle and it went to that angle, and it took disc golf. I couldn't do it, but in my brain, it took it to a whole nother place where I was like, I have to keep trying to figure this out. Whereas for them, I'm saying the limitation is, I said, yucked it up. I don't even know how they threw, but like just throwing a disc and being like, oh, is this it? You know what I mean? And like showing them the difference.
Let me play a scenario for you.
Do it.
All right. So TJ and JJ out on the course, chucking it up, looking for discs. Somebody comes and runs into them because they're whatever playing faster than them, says, hey, do you guys mind if I throw through? They're like, yeah, we're searching in the bushes. Well, this guy's got freaking work boots on, torn jeans. He's got like 2 discs that look like they survived World War II. And he's just like, whatever, plays that course every day with those 2 discs. So he's got all the lines down. And this guy, who's clearly not an athlete, steps up and throws that hyzer flip and just absolutely pins it. And they're sitting there looking like chumps. I mean, it could go either way. They could be like, wow, this sport's really not for us. Or they could do the wow factor.
Yep, I agree.
Good perspective.
And the chat's telling me Brody reached out to JJ. So yeah,
Oh.
everybody in
All right.
there.
So then everybody's going to take second place to that DM.
Well, maybe he's like, dude, I just feel for the Nick and Matt show. It's really possible.
Maybe they posted that just so that they could start a conversation with Brody. Like they were just fiending
True.
for Brody's
That
DM.
makes. I think that's the most likely situation.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, we want to hang out with Brody.
Yeah.
How do we get in contact with him?
Yeah.
He
They were,
knows disc golf.
they were like up late at night sifting through YouTube. Be like, you remember that trick shot guy? Remember those trick shots?
Yeah.
Like with the frisbee, you used to throw them in the basketball hoop. Let's look those up. And he's like, oh, he doesn't do trick shots anymore. He does disc golf. And they maybe tried it out so that he would message them.
Yeah,
They were just
Okay.
looking for the clout. They're just chasing it.
Kind of separate conversation.
plausible.
I get to experience this a little bit. Nick gets to experience this probably even more than I did. The Nick and Matt show is coming along. Casey, you probably experienced it a fair amount. People just like handing you products. Like here, like, do you want this? You want that? Like, I got a good product here. I want you to try it. Here, just, I don't care. I was at USDGC, like bags of stuff were just coming my way. And I'm like, thanks. And I'm like, some of this stuff, like, I can't talk about on the show. We have other ad deals or whatever. But like, they're like, I don't care. I just want you to have it. What do you think it's like to be like celebrity? JJ Watt, where every single company will just give them anything for free
right now,
but like just free and I mean beyond disc golf, car companies. Here's a car. Like, what is it like, Nick? Tell me.
I wish.
Probably awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, we wish we knew what it was like.
But do they care at that level once they're that big of a celebrity? Like, oh, this is free for me. Does it matter anymore to them?
I think
depending on what it is. Like if you're a Honda guy and Kia comes up to you and says, hey, I'm going to give you this brand new Kia, you're probably like, I don't really care about Kia, so I'm not going to take that. And when you have so much money like they do, they can go out and they can buy a Honda. Now, obviously, they're worth millions. They're probably not driving around a Honda Accord, but the sentiment is still the same. They're very, I would assume, picky and choosy. Even some of the top pros that we have in our sport, when a lot of big companies that are outside of disc golf reach out to them, they will send them free stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't see it all the time on those pro social media. Like take Celsius, for instance. Paul and Dylan had a Celsius deal back in the day. And that's something that Paul liked the product, wanted to promote the product, and Celsius wanted Paul to actually promote the product as well. Now, some random company, like let's say Monster, could give it to Paul. Now, Paul doesn't really care for Monster, so he might say, hey, thanks for the free stuff, but not really interested in going along. But I don't want to put words in his mouth because maybe he has a Monster sponsorship going on next year. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you get to that point, you can be picky and choosy.
It's like Nick like Discraft, so he was just like, hey, Discraft, like, I'm gonna support you guys no matter what. What do you think about putting me on the team? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And then Prodigy's like, hey, Nick, what do you think about throwing Prodigy? You're just like, nah.
How much you pay? Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the same with any sort of sponsorship.
So let's move on. And by the way, we brought Casey White in the studio because we think he's cool and you think he's cool. And when I say you, I mean the listener. Last time we had him on was last year. Yeah. And we had more comments praising Casey White's appearance on the show. It's either because of how bad the Nick and Matt show is or it's because of how cool Casey is. Either way, we'll take it. But he's here. It's possible it happens a few more times during the off season, but that's why we're just letting him participate in the conversation. This is not a full-blown interview of Casey. We just think he contributes in an awesome way to the conversations. There's a few things that I would like to mention in passing, which maybe turns into something else where we can all rip each other's heads off over, but PDGA rules. So I saw officially the PDGA rules went through. I am not prepared to talk about it. I'm curious if anybody else has seen which rules went in. I can give us one.
I just heard we're all keeping score.
Yes.
That's the only one.
That's the one I got.
That's the only one that I think actually affects like the tour. Okay. And it's about time because I keep score for every single round I play. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, duh, of course I'm going to keep score. Like my least favorite thing of all events is when I'm at the first tee and whoever it is, Jeff Jacqua, says, we need somebody to keep score. And I go, what were we going to do? Play for fun?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I know I have to take score. And I'm like, I already got a scorecard. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. I'm like, don't thank me for keeping score. Like we were playing for score and somebody has to do it. Like, I don't know. The whole like, I don't want to keep score thing. Like, I don't like to look at my phone. Like, I do not check scores whatsoever. And I keep score every single round and have no issues with it. So I don't know. People got problems.
Casey, I'm right there with you. And I will gladly say bye to those awkward conversations where like, I don't mind keeping score, but still have to ask people if they want to or if they don't mind me doing it, because I'm not trying to force myself to keep score if someone else wants to. I don't know if that makes sense to other people, but that was always so awkward for me and just never liked doing it. So now I'm just like, yeah, round starting, I'm going to keep score. I'm not even going to say I'm keeping score because it's going to be obvious. And if I guess if somebody's not keeping score, you have to take care of it then. But you assume people are, I guess.
I reached a point at the USDGC where I had kept score for so many rounds consecutively that like one round at USDGC, Jeff Brick was caddying for Simon, and like hole two's tee pad, he's like, all right, hole one, like, what'd you guys get? And then I was just like thrown off by it because usually the second person keeping score is like catching up to what I've done for a couple holes, you know what I mean? And I actually had to ask Jeff on like hole 3 or 4. I was like, hey, Jeff, like, Do you mind if I call them out? Like, it's just become a part of my tournament routine that like it's like so weird that somebody else is like voluntarily announcing scores. Like I felt like I was off my rhythm.
Well, so what are you going to do now?
I'm going to be the one of the 4 players calling out the scores after that in the hole.
Oh, okay. So nothing changes. They're just also tracking it themselves
Yes,
too.
exactly.
Okay, I see.
So I've seen a few TDs that are concerned with this because they don't know how it practically plays out. But let me say what I think it is. You guys respond and tell me if you think I'm correct. Each person is not responsible to submit electronically per se their own individual score. Like whether it's here's a scorecard, I'm submitting my scorecard to the TD. Each person is responsible to track their score. There's a difference there. And then the submission of the score is once it's verified. So like if I'm paper, you're paper, and we have 2 digitals.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying,
Matt,
right?
I'm gonna correct you right now. I pulled it up, so we got exact words right here. This is the new language. And this is
I can see it here. I
language
pulled
PDGA
it up too.
loves
Yeah.
new language,
Okay,
let me tell you.
Each player must keep an independent scorecard
Yes.
recording scores after each hole
Yes.
for the entire group.
Understood.
And then it goes on
So
to say
what I'm
more,
saying with that
I think
is,
that covers it.
yes, but this is what I'm saying. Responsible to track your score is different than submitting it. And what I mean by that is if I have a paper scorecard and I've tracked it through the whole round because that is my responsibility now and requirement, I don't turn in that scorecard to the TD, is my understanding. It would be, let's say one person on our card is tracking digitally. I can go to that person and we can confirm the score and submit that.
So I'm going to just say exactly what's in section F right here, which is all players are responsible for reconciling and submitting their copy of the scorecard within 30 minutes of when their group finished their round, and then penalties if you don't. So that tells me that, each person has to submit it. If it's your group of 4 all doing paper scorecards, all 4 of your paper scorecards have to be submitted.
Okay, but if one
PDGA
digital
Live,
scorecard, yes, but if there's one person tracking digital scorecard, which has everybody's score on it, you see what I'm saying? That person could submit. Are we saying that we have to turn in our paper scorecards as well? Or is it
all
the submission?
Players.
Yes, submit.
For
but I'm saying you can submit it digitally. Yep. Okay.
And submitting.
So you can submit it
I'm not
digitally.
following Matt. I'm sorry.
You can submit it digitally for that one person like we always have done through this whole last year. And then you can just turn in your paper as like, here, I did my duty. You see what I'm saying? Like,
so all 4 players are still submitting a scorecard.
Are you like disagreeing with the rule?
I'm saying...
Are you just not understanding it?
No. What I'm saying is that TD is not taking the paper from my hand and then going and inputting it in somewhere. Would you agree with that?
Well, he might be making sure that everyone's scores are the same.
Yeah.
I'm saying that digital scorecard, if one person on my card is doing it and I sign my name to that one and it's submitted, I will still turn in my paper, but I don't think the TD is going to do anything with that except if there's a problem, go look at it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Assumption, Matt.
It's not actually being submitted in that sense. That's all. I didn't get my words well.
This is where
to clarify, the players will reconcile it, so the paper scorecard still will be added up to make sure it matches the digital.
Interesting.
But on the TD side, I would assume what you're thinking, Matt.
Yeah.
The TD is not going to count up the paper scorecard.
It's for reconciling. Yes.
But maybe they do have to, and we might have that wrong.
Exactly.
But that's my assumption.
Exactly.
What's the attachment to paper though? Like, keeping score on a phone is like the easiest thing ever.
Well,
people don't like to use their phones for some odd reason.
No.
There's a very
Do you think that's a joke? As in, like, I think that's a joke because people didn't want to use it.
No, I think it's laughable when people say that because it's just like, here we
That's
go.
what I'm saying.
There's a little scroll down button that says focus. And when you hit that, you put it on do not disturb. And guess what? You don't check your text messages or you don't check scores like that.
Yeah.
It's very simple to not use your phone. But the thing about the digital scorecard is it's incredible in the sense of, oh, hey, we just submitted scores on hole 2. There's an error.
Yep.
Let's go back really quick before everyone tees off. Let's fix that error. Or while you're walking down the fairway, be like, hey, yo, for some odd reason, it's saying there's an error. You got all 4 people doing that. It says, hey, 4 out of 4 cards are in sync. 4 out of 4 cards are in sync. 3 out of 4 cards. Okay, who goofed up? Yep. And then at that point, everyone knows no one is making a mistake on
the incorrect score too.
Yeah, so let me give you
awesome.
Let me give you a few, because we're going to come up with reasons why people should use digital, and I'm on board, but that's not realistic in every situation. For instance, my 13-year-old my 9-year-old. Now I know you're like, okay, Matt, you're going out on a limb, but not really, because I've been to Worlds for the past 3 years and junior sports is exploding. A lot of kids are now getting phones, but a lot of parents aren't doing that with them, right? So then you can say, well, the caddy's with them, they can do it. Well, at 13, they don't need a caddy anymore, but they still might not have a phone. All I'm saying is there's scenarios where this exists, where like my son walked up to a tournament out of Westy and they're like, hey, we need, whoever to keep score because you're on top, or however they were deciding. He's like, I don't have a phone. They're like, oh, like, what do we do? So my point is, it's always going to be a thing. I was just getting back to everybody's responsibility is now to keep score. I don't think it increases work for the TD. This is my point. As long as one person is digitally tracking it, the rest of it is for reconciling if scores were submitted incorrectly. I don't know if I have that right. That's my guess, how it plays out.
Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. What I want to say is that you are playing a tournament. It's good to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
The TD might have paper scorecards. That would be awesome if they did. But you're also playing a tournament. You should be prepared. And just like you're bringing maybe extra towels in case it's raining, you should have some paper scorecards in your bag. Maybe
interesting.
You have a Expo scorecard, like how I've gotten a few of those
Northeast
where you
Disc
can
Golf
write it on a
Expo?
marker. That's funny, Expo marker. But yes, also shout out to that. And you can
Make
do
some
that so it's
scorecards,
reusable. So
I gotta know.
I don't think.
yeah, there's ways to be prepared.
I will say like big business disc golf. Hello, Ledgestone. But like, if you're a big organization or company or business that's running disc golf tournaments for your job, I think it wouldn't be crazy to go wherever you want to go, Walmart, wherever it is, okay? You can get like an Android phone for like $40 now, $30. And if you're running tournaments all the time and you have 18 of these just sitting on standby charging, you don't even have to do a cell plan with them.
Yeah, you do.
No, because it doesn't have to update at the time. It has to start with Wi-Fi and then it will wait. And then when you get back, it would load it in, is my understanding.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be like the.
It wouldn't be great live. Yeah,
like that. I mean, I think that is a
paper, bro.
way.
I think that's a little
extension.
overstretch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. If
so
you
then
want,
prepay with like a 20-minute
How
card
about
or something.
everybody keeps score,
Well,
and then in a year from now,
I'm just
nobody
talking
will
big
even
business.
remember that.
Those companies.
Yeah. I'm with Casey.
Nate
we're talking
this
about
rule
if
is going to be non-factor, and I might give it 2 years.
We're gonna forget that it ever
people are
even
gonna
happened.
completely
I don't care
forget.
about it. Right. I don't either. Some people are just bothered because they don't want to use their phone.
It's like the people at MVP Open. Like, there's only some of us that can go, man, remember when we used to come here and watch for free? Like, nobody even remembers that was a thing.
Casey, thank you for changing the subject. How crazy was that, dude? I remember you were there. You were much younger, but like you would just walk on. You just walk on the property. Nobody cares that you're even there.
And I'm sitting on the picnic table talking with the players on the card. Like, there's no big deal. I mean,
at each hole, like we're eating peanut butter and jellies together, like hole 13. We're like, what's up, dudes? Crazy time. So the other rules, we got some other cool stuff coming up, by the way. Games again. People love 2 truths and a lie. We discovered, DD and DG being changed on Clemens. So we're going to, we'll take a look at some other ones possibly. I think Casey's good at that game. By the way, you don't have to hold that stand. You could take the mic out, whatever's more comfortable for you. Whatever's more comfortable. The chat feels bad for you, they said.
Yeah, they should.
Okay. Let's see. Here's another major rule. Moving obstacles.
Nobody told me that.
This greatly
I like this one.
This greatly broadens the area in which players may move casual obstacles. This change responds to requests from players. They're putting it out there like this is requests from the players that the rules grant the ability to clear casual obstacles from a larger area to accommodate a run-up. Casey White, Champions Cup, pine cones on the ground.
You're serious. Is this a direct citation?
No. But you did like snow.
This is the pioneer.
You did snow angels.
No. All right. So what happened was I practiced that course for weeks. And
Get the mic a little closer. There
and I knew that rule change was in effect now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been taking my time in practice to clear out every single lie. And then at the players meeting, Robert Leonard was like, so we're going to talk about this rule that you can't clear anything and you have to do this and you have to do that. And literally at the players meeting, I don't remember if it was me or somebody else, but they were like, well, if I can get a contact point from 6 feet behind, if I were to lay down, nobody can tell me I'm not going to throw this shot laying down, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like Robert was like, yeah, you kind of got us there. So I'm on lead card round 2. I have a shot that requires a run up for a big sidearm. And I looked straight at Rebecca Duffy, the marshal, and I said, I'm about to lay down and clear a freaking 6-foot runway here. And she goes, go for it. And I go do a plank I look at my card, say this is good, and I clear a whole runway, and I proceed to absolutely park it for birdie.
Nice. So this rule, and I brought it up, and I thought it was ironic and funny that, yeah, you were here just sitting in this seat right now as I read this rule. I think there's zero reason this shouldn't have been a rule. Now, I get there are some caveats like, well, how far and where and what can people move? But I think realistically, if you have the ability to stand in your lie at any point and an obstacle that's casual in nature is there, you should be able to move it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. So that's what the rule is.
I mean, when they was brought up at that players meeting and somebody said like, isn't that like it could be an injury, like whatever, a injury problem. And their answer was, well, then you should stand still.
That's crazy.
And I thought that the rule was I thought they were going
Ben
to
Kenny
die.
just sinks his round at that point.
I will defend that part because I think I think like
I started working on my standstill. I'll say that.
Yeah, I get why people go there. I do get it. But I also think like you're not always entitled for the optimal run up at any point on the course. Like your throw didn't land. Like that's part of the game is to land where an optimal run up can be. And I get there's just scenarios everywhere. You can always find one. But I do think it's a point to land somewhere. Sometimes it just stinks. That's golf.
We talked about this,
opinion.
And we're not taking it this direction, but I think it was with Simon and Steve Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we were like, maybe we should make like
to a greater point about myself.
Yeah, like standstill areas, or like we're not going to get into that topic because we've done that plenty of times. But like that's kind of what I hear you saying, Evan. Is like this is part of the game.
It's all
part
kind
of
of
the
similar.
game.
Yes.
I mean, so the flaw in the rule was that like you couldn't move anything. But like the thing is say I only clear like a 2 feet long runway for my run up because that's where my lie is, but when I back up to run up, I'm kicking pine cone after pine cone to the side and I'm clearing away anyway, just because I'm backing up from my lie. Like I've done it. I've seen people do it. I've done it very consciously being like, I'm not really in the mood to lay down. So as I walk behind my lie, I'm just going to kind of just shuffle my feet and slide these obstacles out of the way. And I just think that was the flaw in the rule was I didn't have to lay down every single time. I just had to look casual. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm playing for money.
That is funny.
I'm with you there.
I think personally, I just want to see the best golf. So if you got to run up to do the best shot, then do it.
Okay. I'm not going to respond.
You know it's wrong.
I'm biting my tongue.
We've had that. That's going
here.
back to that conversation again. By the way, Ben's camera has been
wrong.
sacrificed
Sorry,
for tonight. That's unfortunate,
That's
but
okay.
I'm not touching anything because we're just going to crash it again.
That's okay. I can see him.
New computer. Yeah, we can see him.
Yep.
Can I do a shameless, as Nick says, shameless plug? Can I do that right now?
Yeah.
I've never done an advertisement for my own anything on this show.
I own anything.
But can you go full screen on me? I want to.
Yeah.
This, my friends, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you, Casey. You might have already seen it.
What a mushroom.
This is a disc golf artwork piece that I have done here. It's on canvas, but you can go get one somewhere online. Hit us up on the Nick and Matt show. I'll send you the right link. Here's another one. I have a whole collection of them, maybe six or seven different types of mushroom art. If you're into the art, we've had people buying them from me, which is pretty cool online. It's a drop ship service because I sold them at Ben Kenny's Northeast Disc Golf Expo.
Yep.
They sound
And
like hotcakes.
literally sold out in the first like 2 hours or an hour of the event, a weekend long.
He had some fun guys come out to the expo.
A lot of fun guys. Are you coming to the expo, Casey?
When is it?
January 27th and 28th.
Ooh, I know.
That's like
He's headed
departure
down
time.
south.
That's like right at the buzzer.
We'll send you off.
We'll see.
We'll send you off.
Ellie and I are going to a concert January 19th, so I'm at least staying that long. So
Oh
we'll see.
boy.
Yeah. So if you guys want to meet Casey White, tentative.
But in all
Get some
seriousness,
Skywalkers ready.
Yeah. You can do
The-
a little Skywalker selling and signing.
the mushrooms sold like seriously incredible. I was humbled. I've been doing this artwork for probably years, like 4 or 5 years. Always just kept it to myself. First time it really came out was the expo. People bought them and I'm like, what? Like, and then people are like, where can I get them? Where can I get them? And I didn't have anything available till right now. I decided just to make them available. If you'd like something like that, again, send us a message and I'll send you the link to get it. But we have 6 different ones. Check it out. Okay. Moving on from that. That's the first time I've done that. Maybe not the last, but probably close to the last me ever selling something on here on the show like that. But if you like it, support it. Thank you. We didn't talk a lot about this, and I kind of want to, before we get into it, but I want to tease it. European tour. Okay, a little bit about that and just a topic surrounding that because of the announcement of the quote or unquote merger of, you know, the PDGA Disc Golf Pro Tour Europe. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and move into a lighthearted, fun segment, and we'll carry that conversation in later. We're going to start it out here with 2 truths and a lie.
2 lies and 1 truth.
Yeah, if you want.
Simon. Them Germans.
That was funny. I did like his strategy, though. I'll just say the same thing 3 different ways. But let's get to it.
I'm antsy for his next vlog where he shows off the minivan. Like, I can't wait. Like,
he's been talking about it for a while. He's been hyping it up.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to do a cribs thing.
That's what I was saying.
I hung out with him on Thursday and he was like, dude, I forgot to show you the minivan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you actually had one.
Well, he originally wanted to buy an old beater pickup truck. Yeah. I'm like, you really are going full dad mode, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. You're just like, you might as well be 40 already.
Yeah, too American. Too American at that point. Okay. I think that's what he told me. Something like that. Too American. Oh, we already got people asking and saying they're super interested in the mushroom. How much am I charging? So if you're listening to the show right now, I'll send you the link. All the pricing is there. It's online. Like, you're going to do it all through the storefront. It won't be directly through me. I will say the prices range for like a smallish paper size one, maybe $35, maybe $37 shipped, something like that, up to $75 for like a poster, like a full blown poster size. So it's reasonable. All right. And shout out to Matt Schlabach. Anybody know that name?
Schley Daddy.
Schley Daddy. Hey guys, Matt here.
I got it for you. I got you. Hold on.
Hey guys, Matt here.
Yo,
It's my birthday today.
That was good.
We have a group of disc golfers trying some steak.
That's crazy. That's accurate.
Did you get to do the steak battle with him, Casey?
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so I'm getting it in 2 weeks.
Official one. We did one on his birthday at the USDGC.
I saw
where he
that.
just freaking cooked a crap ton of meat.
I am going to be out there in like 2 weeks. Thank you, Matt. You supported the mushroom art. He purchased some and he's like, hey, come out and sign them when you're out. And we're going to do a steak battle out there. You guys stay tuned. But thank you to him for purchasing. So anyways, back to this. 2 truths and a lie. You ready? We got back to people that didn't get back to us that got back to us. Okay, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, Hannah. Sorry, Hannah. We know you're busy with the
2 weeks
baby.
ago, yeah.
If you just reach out and send me, we'll just get it another time. And by the way, Ben's on screen, but he's wearing his green suit as well.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Sorry, Ben.
All right, here we go. Missy Gannon, everybody. 2 truths and a lie. Missy Gannon. When I was younger, I got poison ivy so bad on my face that I had to go to the emergency room.
Oh, same.
Same. That's funny. 2, I didn't get my driver's license until I was 19 years old. 3, when I was learning how to ski as an adult, I slammed into a group of super cool snowboarders at the base of the Bunny Hill.
All right, I'll answer first.
And so one stands out to you as a
I'm
lie.
locked in.
I think that the lie is the driver's license at 19.
So you're okay. What do you think, Evan?
The other 2 are way too specific.
That's what I'd say,
I'm tempted by that one, but I'm going to go the ski one.
Okay.
I'll go the poison ivy.
Poison ivy.
I'm going ski ward, where it all begins.
Ski board?
Yeah.
Ski ward.
Oh.
Where it
Or
all
ski
begins.
board. I don't know where you're going, but
I'm going to ski. Ski truth.
Okay.
Lie.
Okay.
Missy
So
Gannon living in New York and Colorado, like New York's got okay skiing, but Colorado, like come
I
on,
had
she's
to
gotta
follow-
ski when she was younger.
I was so busy today, I had to screenshot like what they sent me, and I forgot what was the lie. So I went back to the text and we were chatting back and forth. So here's the answer. The lie is the driver's license.
Yes.
Oh, shucks.
Now, she's tricky. She didn't get her driver's license until 20.
So she was
What?
So it went for a different reason than you thought, Casey.
Wow.
And I followed up on that and I said, what's going on with that? First of all, running into people on the bunny slope, she said no one was hurt, just my pride. And then I asked about the driving, and she said, by the way, we can get people on and do this in the future, like maybe we can have Casey come up with some. But I lived in a small town, she said, and she walked to school every day all the way through high school. The car wasn't necessary. My family couldn't afford an extra vehicle. I just kept putting it off until my sophomore year in college, and I finally decided to take my driver's test that summer. There you go.
So what is up with the Gannons not getting their licenses?
That's
Thank you.
Dude, Simon just called me. Should I call him back?
Yes.
You're like, hi, you're live on the next.
He's upset about something. You can call
No,
him.
he just flew in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he
About the minivan.
maybe he
See
just
if we can get
tuned in.
exclusive.
All right.
because he landed and it said Nick and Matt's live.
Ask him where he's going next year, company wise.
Okay.
I'm guessing MVP, but you never know.
If he's gonna talk to you and he says hi, like you can put him on the
Tell him
mic.
he's on the show, though.
Make sure he knows.
Yeah.
Hello.
I forgot you're on the podcast.
Yeah, you are too.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
home from the airport right now, so I'm back in town.
Back in town. Time for a vlog?
Yeah, I wanted to catch up on that, but you can probably call me when you're done over there.
All right, well, I'm going to tell the people on the show what we have planned.
I don't think he knows he's on
That's
speakerphone.
what we need. Thank you.
All
I
right,
think he,
peace.
Yeah, I don't either. Evan, I don't think he knew. Did he know he was on speaker?
I was very nervous.
Casey said you're on the show
You're on
too.
the show. I told him. he's-
Okay.
I've done it on my
You did,
vlog
but-
before too, where I'm filming a vlog and I answer on my watch and I'm like, "Hey, you're on the vlog. Say hi," and I hold my watch to the camera.
All right. Here we go. Number 2. That's funny. Steve Dodge. Wow, I got Steve Dodge.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm
All
curious
right.
about this.
He said, you can use these 3 that I used on my Bumble profile for Jess. Now, I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but he said it to me, so I just pass it along.
That is awesome.
That's
I did
awesome.
not know that. That's,
All right. So, I don't know if it's true or not. That could be a lie, right? Maybe he
Just
didn't.
being
Let's
his
just
now
clarify.
wife.
Steve
Yeah.
Dodge is married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Jess is
Jess.
his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they
He's implying they
do
met on Bumble.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do often listen to the show. And if you're listening right now, hi Jess. And hi Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Here it is. Number 1, I founded a record label. Number 2, I kissed a man. Number 3, I rode on a submarine for a week.
A week.
This is the toughest one in this 2 episode series.
Why is it so tough?
I'm gonna go with the record label.
You're saying that's a lie?
I think that's the lie.
Submarine?
Steve would be the kind of person to just be like, "Yo, a week-long vacation on a submarine. I'm in. I want to tell about
Yeah,
it."
and he'd also be the type of guy that's like,
is
"Hey,
tough.
I can start a record label, right, guys? Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it."
And you're missing the third one.
Before I answer, I want to admire that and Steve's ones that he used for his profile had nothing to do with disc golf, which worked perfectly for this one. Because if he said like, "Oh, I started the disc golf pro tour,"
Right.
like he didn't use that in his
Yeah.
profile, and we would know that's true. I'm gonna go submarine.
I wish it was like I started a record label in blank year. That would give me some
Right.
great context. I think that the submarine, the week. So I think it's like the Missy Gannon thing, where it's actually like I
It'd be like
spent
5
a
days.
month
Yeah.
on a
Yeah,
submarine, not a
Casey,
week.
Casey, let's keep our strategy quiet.
All
Okay?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going
But
submarine.
the other thing is that if you're on Bumble trying to find your future wife, are you really letting her know that you kissed a guy? So
Like,
Maybe she's
what's
into that.
He
going
is
on?
not worried about that. He is who he is.
yeah,
Right. I think I think it's the truth that he posted these on Bumble, but
Yeah.
like, who knows which is the lie?
Well, Steve's
did you
Bumble's profile
say
features
Ben?
Yeah, I'm going submarine. It just doesn't, unless he was in the Navy, it doesn't make much sense. to
No,
me.
I'm telling you, he probably spent 2 weeks on a submarine, and that's why it's a lie.
Well, I'm thinking of
Could be.
submerged submarine.
Oh,
I didn't realize it was like could have been on land.
I'm thinking
but-
submerged too. So
Okay,
All right.
I'm going submarine still.
here we go.
submarine.
Everyone's locked in.
Nick went record label.
I guessed submarine. He said, nope. I guessed
Aw.
record label. Ha ha ha. And he says, nope. I said, I guess the lie is that you kissed a man. And he says, you got it.
And none of us.
He says it only took you 3 tries, and he said, oh, I'll leave some of what he said out. But I said, don't think too hard about why I might not have guessed that first. But
Right.
I asked him to elaborate a little bit because I think everyone's curious.
Yeah,
here.
we've all kissed our dads. Come on now.
Kidding.
So I said, tell me more about this. He said, before I started my...
On the cheek, I should say. Sorry, I had to clarify that.
I felt like he had to clarify.
I was like, wait, that sounds so weird.
Hey, if Tom Brady does it, it's cool.
Yeah, Tom Brady
so don't
does
worry
it, so
about
it's
it.
On the cheek.
Oh,
on the cheek.
man.
I have no judgment whatsoever about it. Just no judgment.
Guys, we all were like
People are
5
who
at
they
one
are.
point. Come on now.
My logic was, let's think of the least accessible options there. Like, it's not very easy to start a record.
I
It's not
agree.
very easy to just
Here
find
we
a
go.
submarine to live on for a week. There are guys all over the place if you really feel like this.
There are guys just everywhere.
Any random New Year's Eve or whatever. Yeah.
List anytime you want.
So before I started my CD brokerage, which manufactured CDs for rock bands, I made a few CDs for local musicians in Fredericksburg. That grew into making CDs for lots of people and began my first business. That's an interesting fact about Steve Dodd, his first
Very
business.
believable.
He said the submarine trip, that was a software quality assurance Bravo testing trip. I slept between the nuclear missile silos for the 8-day trip from Groton, Connecticut to Miami.
Oh,
dang.
So it was
look at
underground.
this.
And he
Or
said,
under the water.
Underground.
and to your point, Ben, I worked as a mathematician for the Navy. There you go.
So yeah.
So he wasn't in the
There's a
Navy.
Navy
Wow,
base in
that's the
Groton.
same thing.
Look at that.
You could,
Is it-
It's like
Did he just work a week?
I said,
or-
cool, man. Thanks for sharing. And let's see. Do you see what he sent me?
like you could be the guy that cleans the trucks for the army, but you're still in the army.
Right.
Yeah,
true.
no, but was
Yeah,
he?
they all
He
have
served in the
jobs.
Navy.
I mean,
He said he was a mathematician for the Navy.
That's
So
the
either
thing.
he was contracted.
So I was
like-
thinking for the Navy for that 1 week. That's what I thought he was saying.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
one
you
week in
can't
a
be an
submarine.
independent contractor.
No.
But
Okay, that
All
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah,
I
all
thought
right.
he was saying for
Umbrella,
that
son.
1 week. That's where I got confused.
All right. Number 3. We may know him as Ricky Wysocki. Ricky. Okay.
congratulations to his sister and Paul Uleberry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Congrats to the new brother-in-law.
Sarah.
He said, and I don't ask them to put it in any certain order, so there's no real rhyme or reason here. I'm just reading them as they get sent. I was ranked in the top 10 in the world in table tennis as a junior. I am deathly afraid of heights. And I skipped my high school graduation to play a disc golf tournament.
Heights.
I'm gonna say the heights is the lie
Heights agree.
because
Actually, no. I'm going table tennis.
Yeah, I'm going ping pong.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now.
Rewind.
I'm like, no, because it's could be very true that he's.
Although it is
I'm going
niche like
table
disc
tennis.
golf, and he was homeschooled, he probably was like Forrest Gump up in there cooking in the lab. You know, just like off the half ping pong table.
double paddle.
Don't know how you got from point A to point B, but I'm going heights officially.
I'm
I'm
going
sticking with
heights.
it.
I'm going
Not you.
ping of the pong.
And
What are we at points wise? Anyways?
All I'm saying is
Casey
the
has
third
1 point.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, I think I'm over.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
over.
thought
Okay.
that Steve Dodge, not that he maybe kiss a guy, but it's not.
Yep.
Okay, Ricky said his lie was that he was ranked in the top 10 in table tennis.
Yay.
Ah,
Oh,
dang it.
6. So I got a point.
Me too.
No.
He was top 12.
Yeah. I asked him, let me see. I've got so many text messages going on. I asked him to elaborate on those because I think it's fun to hear. I said, did you formally compete in table tennis? And he says, I did compete in table tennis, but never at that level.
Gotcha. That's
So-
why I was thrown off. And
Mhm.
also, I would like to add that before the 2018 World Championships in Vermont,
Mhm.
Ricky was jumping off the highest jump at Bingham Falls, and I just thought that there was no way that he could be
Interesting.
afraid of heights. If
I
he's
too
jumping
knew
from
that, and I thought there was no way.
Interesting.
that I jump off of, and I'm like, damn, this is
So
high.
that's interesting. I'd have to follow up more because I did follow up on the heights thing. And there must be a level where it becomes high to him.
Well-
because I said, what is, so let me see. I said, what's the scariest elevated place you've been? So I asked it that way. And he said, bungee jumping platform. And he says, but he didn't jump. So
Okay.
I could
Yeah.
find myself in that situation. I would imagine it's pretty crazy to jump off a perfectly good platform.
I don't think that really counts as like deathly afraid. That's just like you like definitely is like, oh shit, like that'll spook you.
Yeah. Would you be spooked, Casey? I see you as full adrenaline, full
I
tilt,
would
like
be
just
more
running.
spooked to jump off the top shelf at freaking Bingham Falls than I
Really?
would be to like
how high is
wow.
it? Do you have any idea?
probably like 25 feet, but like you have to clear like the rock and like it's not,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not just like
it's the extra
25 is
part.
like
Yeah.
like bungee jumping. Like there's a lot of I don't know, safety measures that go on where you're literally just barefoot on a wet rock and
There's people to sue if things go wrong, whereas a rock, there's no one. It's you.
well, we had somebody end up
Is that
in the hospital at Bingham Falls because they didn't jump off the rock correctly. They slipped out from under their feet. So
Yeah.
you never know.
yeah. Yeah, we just took that real sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is sad.
Okay.
Well, I got a point.
Sorry, I
Oh,
put a
yeah,
sour
Nick got a
gummy worm
point.
in my mouth.
Have
Put it
any
up.
of you guys been skydiving? Speaking of which,
No,
No,
Simon,
I actually
Simon
really
wanted
badly
us
want to
to.
do it.
Simon wanted to do it for
No.
the vlog during COVID, and I was very, very against it just because I was like, why?
Oh,
And
I want to do it so bad.
he
Actually,
was like, well, I think it would get a lot of views. But the reason that we chose against it
would
was
get a lot of
because
views.
we were worried that being strapped chest or whatever, chest to back with somebody during COVID would be frowned upon. Because that's the world we lived in back then.
yeah,
That's the reason we didn't do it.
yeah.
well, it's a good time to do it now.
you-
Yeah,
you
I
should-
mean,
Actually, not
Do it
right now.
once.
That'd probably be very cold.
Yeah, can you guys
But-
wait? Like, can we put the
should we
show
all
on
just
pause?
go? I've already done it, but we all should make a group trip to Skytown,
Pepperell?
USA. Yeah, Pepperell. That's where I went. Anyways,
Next question.
It's funny when I sit here
We'll invite
quiet what
Ricky, yeah.
happens. I love it.
We'll invite Ricky.
yeah, Phil Ricky.
Okay.
Ricky and I can both dip out at the last second. That way I'm not the only one.
All right. You'll never guess who I got next.
Oh, can we? Or is this a point? Bonus point?
Yeah.
Okay,
JJ Watt.
okay.
JJ Watt.
He responded.
Everybody.
Hey, JJ Watt. Can I get two truths and a lie?
My guess is you're gonna say
He's looking through the camera reflection.
Hannah Macbeth.
All right, here we go. Not Hannah.
Darn it.
Shout out Hannah, though. All right. His name starts with an E.
Ethan.
Nope.
Assuming it's not going
Evan.
to be Eagle
Nope.
McMahon.
Ezra.
Eagle.
Ezra.
Robinson.
No.
Aderhold.
Yep.
Ah, 50-50.
We'll get there eventually. Okay. Number one. I was trampled by a horse.
Oh, that's some South Dakota shit right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was attacked by a deer with antlers.
Okay, these are all.
Also, some South
Is this why
Dakota.
he's yoked? You need self-protection? Like,
When you said that South Dakota, I'm like, wait for number two.
I love how the distinction with antlers. That's hilarious.
it wasn't a female deer.
This ain't no female. This is a man
Wasn't
deer.
a doe, a deer,
Yeah,
a female
okay.
deer.
Number three. I fell off the roof of a 2-story house.
Oh
Rough-
boy.
Man, this dude's had a rough life.
I was like, I hope none of these
I'll
are
go first.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Deer
What-
with
what was
antlers.
the-
I'm calling deer with
What was
antlers.
the first animal again?
Horse.
A horse.
Trampled by a
Trampled
horse.
Trampled by a horse or deer?
Attacked by a deer.
I'm saying
with
the lie
antlers.
is the deer with antlers.
I'm saying trampled by a horse is the lie.
I'd like to say he did not fall out of a 2-story building.
Well, he was
I'm
a
just
real
like, I
he was a
feel
real
bad.
estate guy before disc golf, so that takes a lot of
Yeah,
like
he fixed up
remodeling
houses.
and stuff, and it could have happened.
No, him and his brother flipped houses.
Oh,
so
very cool.
I think that's legit.
That's
'cause they
true,
probably
actually.
were doing the
yeah,
roof.
yeah, that's where you'd
I'm
find
gonna go
yourself on a
deer
roof.
with deer with antlers is my official
Without
guess.
antlers, I would have said that's probably true.
Yeah.
Without antlers.
So I felt similarly about the antlers part, and I didn't guess the deer. What did I guess? I ended up texting him for quite a while, so let me see what he said here. Deer is the truth. And I was like, so was it the roof? He says, so the lie was the roof. So Nick, you got it.
It was a 1-story house.
Yeah.
2 stories is
Oh.
pretty
Fell off the
high
front
up
porch,
to fall
yeah.
off that. That's
I was
pretty
hoping
high up.
like
That's true.
into water or
Like-
snow or leaves or
Yeah.
something, but
I've been in construction a good majority of my life now working.
2
stories,
stories, yeah.
pretty
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
you have time to think about your fall.
but it happens.
Yes.
You know, he could fall. It happens.
They don't
Yeah.
usually live to talk about.
Tuck and
That's-
roll, though, right?
All right,
Wait, so
here's-
are you on top of the second story? I'm thinking on, like you're on like
He said he
like
fell
my
off the
house.
what do you think?
roof.
If you're on the bottom of the second
No.
story, the top of the second story, what's really the difference?
I'm saying like my house is 2 stories. If I fell off of my like first story roof, which is technically on the second story, I would be completely fine.
How do
Okay,
you
but this is you live on a hill and one
You
side.
guys are worried about falling off roofs. I want to know what happened with that deer.
Okay,
attack.
yeah.
Here we go.
Go past. This is relevant.
This is fascinating. I said, what's up with the deer?
Yeah.
He said it was like I don't know. It's either typos or this is legit. It was like a teen deer, as in a teenager, that the neighbor's kid kind of had as a pet. Yes, the neighbors kind of had his pet. He ended up, I'm trying to put this all together. He said like they lived maybe like a quarter mile away. They had a pet. He'd never gotten this close to the deer before. He went out to get mail. This is what he's telling me. He went out to his mailbox to meet the mailman. And he said, as he's walking that way, and I don't know, this is crazy. I wish he was telling the story. He said he put his hand on the deer's head, like, hey, deer. And the deer just started ramming him, he said. And the mailman literally grabbed the horns and was fighting the thing as he ran inside.
What?
That's the story he told me.
I pictured in my head like him squaring up like that guy against the kangaroo.
The kangaroo.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of when he was talking about how the dude came out and grabbed it.
One
Yeah.
socks him.
Yeah.
So
The deer's or the kangaroo's got the dog in the headlock.
Yeah.
So it came around later. Like I said, I texted for a while. I even think he talked to his mom in between our texting to get better facts on this. But I was like, how old are you? He was like, he thought he was like 9 or 10. He's like, apparently my mom says I was like 7.
Oh, wow.
So he was really young fighting a deer. Then he said about the same age. That's a bad year. He said he got trampled by a horse because his sister's friends came over and they wanted to either see the horse or like, I don't know, ride the horse or whatever.
Owned the horse.
So he got in like what is it? A corral, pasture, whatever. Paddock. Nick's worked with horses.
Wow.
And apparently the horse had a baby recently. And so he starts cornering off one of them. Like maybe it was the baby. I don't know which one it was. And the horse freaked out. Like you were like threatening my horse.
All right, Nick.
And he just ran him over.
Okay, I'm not going to answer it very well. I'll tell you that much.
What kind of shoes does a horse wear?
Horse shoes.
Shit. Thought I could get him there.
So
we did shoe horses at the farm I was on.
All
so
right.
yeah, I used to live on a dressage farm. So it's a very fancy way of dressage. It's a very fancy way of making horses dance in an arena. It's
like the sideways walking,
sideways trotting, bowing, everything like that.
Your family did this?
My aunt is
bowing, of course.
My aunt's a very famous horse dressage trainer.
And you literally worked down there.
Oh,
my mom, Marlene's owned a hair salon for 35 years. You know this. Yeah,
I just wasn't sure. She had a secret identity of a horse dressage.
My uncle Matt married who is now my aunt Nancy, and she's very high up in the horse world for training.
Horse world.
So I lived down in
never on the podcast.
It was in Loxahatchee, but it was pretty much Wellington, Florida, West Palm Beach area, and I lived there for about 5 months. We had I think 26 horses. And so I used to go in every morning at 6:30 and I would start mucking out all the stalls. And then I would, take all the manure out to the area where we dumped it all.
I want to hear this, guys. Don't make fun of it.
And then, my Uncle Matt, I used to take the horses out to their paddocks. We had a couple workers on the farm as well. My cousin worked there with me. And then my Uncle Matt, at the end of the day, we used to kind of hang out with the horses that we liked. My favorite one was named Wesley. And he was this beautiful brownish black horse. We used to call him Batman. And that's actually, keep going. I have an old picture.
Oh, okay.
Man.
The more you know, had zero clue.
Yeah, I remember.
Like when Nick pulled out that one horse word paddock, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like
this was also 9 years ago.
Identity.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it actually.
If that light's on your camera there, you're gonna have to turn it off or else it'll reflect. Or just don't.
Yo, Ben, we got anything good in the chat? I can't see the chat.
Oh, you can pull up your phone. Well,
am I crazy or is Casey on a green screen? Someone said, what do you call a deer with no eyes?
A no idea.
No idea.
Yes, the chat is going off. Ask them any question you want, Casey. They'll answer. I mean,
everyone eats a hot chip before jumping out of the plane.
Someone said Nick's aunt for the next interview.
Marlene?
Marlene. Yeah, not the horse hunt, just Marlene.
Let's get Marlene up in here. That'd be
Okay.
awesome.
What is this off-season content even anyways? Like,
What
this
if
is
we-
crazy.
What if we could get like a YouTube video where Marlene does the hair on the horse, like dresses up the horse nice and
And they,
Dude,
they do
she's
that.
good.
They braid the horse.
She did my hair for a few times. So dyed it. She's great. Marlene Chateau Chauveau, West Wilson. Check
Chauveau.
it out.
Not
Nick's
Chateau
mom
Chauveau.
has cut my hair before. We're all getting into who's cutting hair.
Whoa.
It's a big family affair.
Yes.
All
my,
right.
My uncle had a barbershop. My cousin
Wow.
is a hairdresser.
Mark
My mom's a hairdresser.
Did not know that.
My aunt is a hairdresser.
Let's just keep on digging.
Yeah. This is two truths and truths from Nick.
I could give you guys some wild
Some
two truths and a
stories.
they
lie.
let you walk out of the house with a mullet, huh?
My mom hates it. So funny story about this is growing up, I have very long curly hair growing up, and I used to wear it to where it just kind of poofed out underneath my hat or just scrunch up, whatever.
The Haley
Now-
King look.
Now
You might.
I put it all back, whatever, and just because it's fun, I'm growing out my flow. And anyways, so my mom growing up my whole life was my hairdresser because free haircuts, and my mom's professional at it, and they always came out well. But then I started cutting my hair really short back in the day, and my mom hated it when I cut it really short, but I liked kind of the high and tight look.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to fire my mom, and now my cousin Rachel is my hairstylist. So, but I haven't gotten a haircut in just about a year now.
Mark's a
So,
barber too.
Yeah, my cousin Mark's a barber.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't go like 3 weeks without a haircut. I love it.
At this point, I'm just like, it's fun to grow it out. I have long curly hair, and I'm just trying to see how long I can get it. My brother's got hair down to his lower back, and he's a doctor and a heavy metal drummer. So it looks kind of cool.
different
on
when
him.
like the people who do your hair are your family, where like my
Yeah.
barbers are my homies, so like I
Yeah.
get to see them once a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, back when I was getting my haircut all the time, it was every 2 weeks. I would call Rachel and just say like, "Hey, can I come to the salon?" And fortunately, we have a key to the salon, so I could go on a Monday or whatever day I wanted. Pretty much, if she had time, I would just get my haircut. But
Wow.
Midnight haircut.
Okay.
I've gotten a haircut at 11 at night before. I had a wedding the next day. I
What time
forgot
is
to
it
tell
in
my mom.
Japan though? That's the difference.
I don't know.
All right, you ready? Next one. I hope you
Nice.
guys enjoy this.
Damn.
Nate Doss.
Nate
Nate
Doss, not
freaking
Nathan.
Doss, one of my favorites.
Wow.
Nate Doss.
We got a big one.
We got a big one. Here we go. Number one. He doesn't say it this way, but he said voted most likely to succeed in high school. I was assuming like I was voted most likely to succeed in high school. Number two. Broke arm playing baseball on rollerblades.
Wait. Yes.
Three. First,
Rollerblade
yeah,
baseball.
Broke arm playing baseball.
he's saying them just like straight
crazy.
facts, stats, just boom, no personal attachment here. Have watched every single episode of Seinfeld over 10 times.
Oh.
Whoa. Seinfeld was a kick of mine for like a year, maybe two, at some point, probably about 15 years ago.
Chat. It's name us our characters in Seinfeld. Like who would Casey be, Matt be, Evan be, me? Come on, let's do it.
Give me Jerry.
I was just gonna, I'm like, yeah. Here's the thing. All right. So, what do you guys think? Voted most likely to succeed in high school, broke arm playing baseball on rollerblades.
How do you
have
play
watched
baseball
every
on
single-
rollerblades?
Dude, it's
I wanna know
probably
how
like
that- yeah, I
street
wanna know how that
baseball,
came
you know,
about.
like
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, when he was young. That makes sense on like page.
I'm just
Yeah.
guessing. I'm
Is
guessing.
that what baseball's like in
This,
California?
this is second, but to Steve Dodge, but this is a tough one.
I'll say one's the lie.
I have no
most
gut
successful.
reaction to this.
No,
I'm going-
that's
I'm
the
going to
truth of all
Seinfeld
truth.
because-
I'm going Seinfeld as well.
It's going to be like he's
I-
watched it 8 times or 12 times.
I'm going Seinfeld.
I think it's neither of those, Nick. I think he's just never gotten into it,
Ooh.
and so I'm gonna go Seinfeld.
Rollerblades, definitely too specific to be a lie. And
But he could have played it and not broken his arm.
Have you seen 18-year-old Nate Doss? He looks like the guy in the yearbook that's just most likely to succeed.
Yeah.
Just like
How have you seen 18-year-old?
he won a world championship at like 19 years
Okay,
old.
I didn't know that.
You missed
Ugh.
those times, man.
Yeah. I'm new, Casey. 2021.
COVID disc
is my
golfer.
disc golf.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
is
Nate
my
Doss is
disc
a
golf
G.
start.
You don't even remember when the disc golf courses were closed for COVID.
No, I
Really?
because I didn't. Well, I didn't go disc golfing. Of course not.
Open as
True.
Cogs. Imagine that.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
You didn't hit us up till year 2.
Cogs?
Yeah.
Cogs opened up
I've
before
started
Maple?
April 2021.
Cogs
so.
never closed because they had
What?
no way to actually officially close it. So it was like closed.
So how
according
did
to the
Buff
things.
close?
I
then?
would
That
go
would've
to
been nice to
Buff
know.
closed
I would've-
because there's somebody that actually manages the property.
Oh, that makes the Rangers.
And it's
I went out to
federal
Cross
property,
Farms.
which is
Yeah.
different than state
Exactly what I'm
property.
saying.
Yeah.
Cogs is just a park that
and they
has no policing.
pulled the shorts there.
Yeah,
and
that was
worst
during
mistake
COVID.
they've ever
yeah.
made.
You ever heard of
All right.
Buff
No,
Mini?
I think that was the best.
I
mistake
never
they ever
played
made.
Buff Mini. That's
Yeah.
my biggest
COVID
regret.
killed it.
Yeah, that's my biggest regret. Not playing Buff Mini, of not starting disc golf earlier. Guys,
Ben, you ain't hated.
Intern
you
Ben
ain't hated
here.
Buff Mini. You
uh,
ripped me on when I had this.
It's
pick.
all wooded shots.
yeah,
Yeah,
what do
we
you
can't
mean?
see you.
It's like
Buff-
goofy short shots, or not all.
I mean,
I would have
bad.
loved Buff Mini because I love Buff. Anyways,
All right, here's Nate Doss's answers. You guys didn't lock in, did you?
I locked
Yeah, I
it
said Seinfeld.
with Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Casey is a lane.
All right, I said, "What's up, dude?"
Seinfeld.
Yes, yeah,
I said,
I know Jerry.
"Is it Seinfeld?" He said, "Nope."
Damn.
He said, "It's number one." He said, "I was actually voted what? If it wasn't most
Class
likely, class clown."
You know,
Nate Doss.
all right.
Class
Intern
You
Ben,
know-
fun fact. I was voted class clown middle school and high school. I
So
won
you
both.
know.
It was a clean sweep.
I was voted most talkative.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I was voted anything, to be honest.
I was definitely not voted anything.
I don't think so. I graduated with like 750 people in my class too. So
From
Wow.
Wachusett?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's huge.
really quick. This is, and please, no one's allowed to make fun of me. This is
Please.
You got a nice hat on
Marlene?
though.
10 years ago. No. This is
Yeah.
this is me. That ring freaking
There you
camera
go.
sucks.
That's good.
This is
Let's
there you go.
this
That's
is
good.
me.
That's
this
good.
is me and Batman.
Is that a Marshall Street hat?
No, it's a Team Buff.
Oh,
OG
okay,
one.
okay.
This is me and my favorite horse that I've ever gotten along with.
Batman, Wesley.
Batman, Wesley. Yep.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yep. So he's still
Wow.
alive.
We should do a Nick and
Still
Matt
goes
show
for
get
sauce.
together at a horse place and like we could all just ride horses and like just
Not these ones,
Dude,
I'll tell you that much.
I mean, as far as
No, those are
Ezra's
just Sasha
story, I
horses.
think I'm
Yeah.
out.
yeah.
I wasn't allowed to ride
Horses
them.
are
There's only one I was
Horses
allowed
are
to
nothing to be
ride.
messed with, man.
no. So we're getting off track here, but my wife grew up on a small local New England farm. They had beef cattle, they had some dairy, they had pigs, they didn't have horses. But when I went over their house once at late at night, dropping off my wife before she was my wife, dropping her off back home, it's like cold out. It's a late fall or like early winter. And my headlights are pointing up. I'm letting her go. Really long driveway. Long story short, I get out and I'm like, what do I hear in the woods next to the driveway? And it's just like a bull sounding, like just blowing. And I'm like, something's not right here. It comes out into the shadow of like my headlights. And I'm outside of the car, like talking to my wife. It has horns, like long horns. And I'm like it's in between me and the car. Like, what are we going to do? The thing starts literally coming, and then stopping and like coming and stopping, like trying to get you to move. And I'm just going to say it, like big animals, they are like not to be messed with in my mind.
Mhm.
She grew up with them. And anybody who grows up with that stuff's like, just watch this. She literally picked up a shovel, and I don't know if that was for show. Honey, if it was, tap the ground twice upstairs. But if it was for show or she was just like this, yeah, I'm listening for the taps too, but she picked up a shovel and she's just like, you stop right there. Not one more move or I'll smack you so hard. And I'm like, what?
And that's when
This
you
is,
knew.
yes, this is
Yeah.
when I knew. And the thing just
This
stopped.
is how I met your mother.
the thing just stopped there. And then later, I used to be like, a bull was chasing me and I ran to my car. And she's like, it wasn't a bull. It was a steer.
There it
Her
is.
taps.
There
Yeah.
it is. There
Bang,
it is.
bang.
She just tapped.
She's like, it was for show. The shovel was for show. That's awesome. She's like, I could have just walked up and pet the thing. But anyways, also
I
I
also helped work on a cattle farm way back in the day in Millbury. Yeah.
this is the most obscure
This is
Nick and Matt show
this
ever.
is back when I was in elementary school. Actually, my friend's parents helped run. The dude actually used to own Sunnyside Ford, or Millbury Ford Mercury, not Sunnyside. That's one in Holden. Millbury Ford Mercury, which is in Auburn. He used to have a cattle farm, and there was one bull who was named Reggie. This big orange furred, like
Was
big
it
old,
actually a bull
yeah,
though?
no, 100%.
The difference is castrated or
Yeah.
not, even though they're the same.
No,
without-
he was straight up like as bully as they get. That was this one. And I remember because my friend's mom was throwing hay bales. We used to throw the hay bales, feed them all. And when she went to throw one, her wrist got caught on part of the fence of it. And Reggie got like pissed and like moved his head in his horn. And it completely like snapped her wrist.
Oh,
with it like
That got dark.
Yeah.
That hurt me.
So it was wild. And I was there and I remember it and I was like, oh my God. And so, yeah. But anyways, cattle farm, that was pretty cool too.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to why he said class clown that was the lie. He was not voted most likely to succeed. He said he had a lot of downtime as a professional disc golfer and he loves TV. He's watched a lot of shows, but by far, Seinfeld the most. I said, do you think your friends today would vote you as the clown today? He said, that's a great question. I still think of myself as an amateur comedian, but I'm not nearly as crazy these days. And I said, who would you relate to on Seinfeld? Who do you think he said?
Kramer.
Jerry.
He said, definitely George Costanza.
I have no idea who that is, to be honest.
I know the name.
He said,
I know
Yeah.
Kramer and Jerry.
he's one of the top 10
George
TV
is the short
characters.
guy.
Yep.
That's what I figured.
with the
said-
glasses.
Yes. He said, one of the top 10 TV characters of all time.
He's the one that says Frolf, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rolf, Jerry.
Jerry.
Yes.
So there you go. All right.
I've never watched a full
Thank
episode.
you,
of that show.
Mr. Nate.
Two more.
Ross, you're-
Douse.
Isaac Robinson, world champion, current reigning. Boop.
Yep.
He said, I have been skydiving. I met the lead singer of Coldplay in an airport. And 3, I am allergic to beans.
I'm sorry if you are. That honestly makes me sad.
Is that a thing? Like, can you be allergic to
all
beans?
beans?
Legumes.
That sounds like something like he's like writing this down and Gannon just says, say you're allergic to beans. He's like, oh, okay. I think that's the lie.
Has he been skydiving?
I'm going
Probably.
Coldplay.
Oh, I was about to
that's
say,
the
are
one
we
that I'm
assuming that was
saying
true?
Definitely true.
Chat, they're thinking beans.
I'm thinking
I'm
beans.
thinking beans.
Beans are way too
I'm-
good to be allergic to.
All right, I gotta.
That's like-
Some beans are
That-
toxic till they're cooked, the chat says.
All right, I'm saying he's never been skydiving.
All right.
Such
I'm
a
really-
cop out if it's the
Am I
lie.
still over in this game? I'm pretty sure I
I think
am.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have 2.
I think I only have one. I got the first one.
I got to be over then. Let's go skydiving. I don't know.
The
Sorry,
truth.
Casey, for bringing you down.
The truths are he has been skydiving
Yeah.
Oh my
and he is allergic to beans.
No.
it's
Isaac.
Coldplay.
I said, can you elaborate more on that? Yeah, I went skydiving March of 2021, my junior year of college. So pandemic, let's go skydiving.
All right.
And then as far as the beans go, he says, as far as I know, I'm allergic to all types of beans. My lips swell up and my throat gets itchy whenever I eat them.
Like green beans, black
Lima
beans,
beans.
I said, what about jelly
Refried
beans?
beans,
Ha ha.
jelly beans.
Just kidding. Dad joke. But
That's a pretty good one, though, actually.
he
Yeah.
goes, thankfully, no.
Yeah.
He says, thankfully, no. And then,
That's the one to be worried about. Like you can't live without
no,
jelly
no,
beans.
the
but
worst candy
you
of
want-
all time, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not of all time.
Yeah,
but it's
I don't
in
like
there.
jelly beans. Yeah, they're,
It's in that
they're
list.
top.
Peeps are kind of trash. I don't
Yeah,
know if you
peeps
consider
are terrible.
Peeps are,
Peeps are trash.
peeps are
The
actually
Necco
horrible.
wafers are the
Yeah.
the
Candy
Yeah.
corn.
I like
Candy
the
corn
Necco
actually
wafers.
sucks.
No, candy
Candy
corn.
Candy corn sucks. Yeah.
Very mid.
Candy
Candy
corn is like
corn-
D tier.
Yeah, it's mid, but it's weird. You don't want it till you start eating it, and then you eat some. You're like, that's okay. So here we go. Final one.
All of those are seasonal though. You got to think of like year round. What's the
Mhm.
worst?
Charlton Chews, best candy all time. I said it.
The pink ones, the strawberry ones are incredible.
Probably like
See, there you
milk
go.
duds too.
No, not a milk
Ooh.
dud
I
guy.
thought-
I like nougat, big nougat guy.
You know what's really good, surprisingly?
What?
Charleston Chews frozen.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how I eat them.
yeah.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
the thing.
That's
All
how I
right.
eat them. Yeah, not non-frozen, not as good. Frozen. mwah.
Disagree.
Frozen, still very good.
Okay, here we go. Sai Ananda.
Wait, hold on. Did he elaborate on the Coldplay thing at all? Or that was just
that it
straight
was a
up
lie.
Yeah.
That's such a
I was
random
hoping he
lie.
would say
He's
like,
like,
man,
I
that
actually-
subway station.
It wasn't the lead singer,
No, no.
it was the drummer.
The truth is, I was the original lead singer.
Yeah.
But Sai Ananda. Now, I asked her for 2 truths and a lie, and she wrote a paragraph for each. So
So
you know
That sounds
Sai.
like Sai.
And I'm
Yeah.
saying that in love. Like she
Yeah.
was on our show. We loved hearing her talk. This is how she answers.
Yeah.
So
Right, let's
here we
hear
go. I've never been to Buc-ee's. Question mark.
What?
I'm
Overrated.
told that it's a big deal. Question mark. Okay. Next one. Even though I'm right-hand dominant, I've always taught myself to do things with my offhand.
Like Larry Bird.
My coordination is ever improving, but I've learned to draw, throw, brush teeth, and do lots of things pretty well.
Lefty, she's saying?
Yeah. Or her offhand, but yeah, lefty. Finally, I've always had an interest in non-verbal communication. I taught myself ASL, sign language, from an early age, and I love to learn new words and phrases. I will be learning new disc golf related terms for next season.
Buc-ee's.
Wait, so why are
She's been
those
to
two
Buc-ee's.
so long and sound exactly like her? And then just Buc-ee's
she's
is
been
like,
to
I've never
Buc-ee's.
been.
He's like,
What was
never
the
been to
name again?
Buc-ee's?
I think that maybe because she lives in Washington and Buc-ee's like southeast mostly, you know, like that
That
could
does
be
help.
like a
What was the
buy-in,
second?
Yeah.
The second one was the coordination.
but- Yeah, lefty.
Right.
Oh,
She
okay.
does
I'm
a
going
lot
with
of
that.
things
I'm
lefty.
going with that because whenever she poses a picture, she puts up like maybe it's the I love you sign in sign language, so or
It's
something.
west side, dude. West side.
No, she does not do that. She does
Size
not
throwing
put
up
up the
gang
west
symbols.
side. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
It's
though.
for West Side, right?
I think she does
Oh,
like
fine.
she
So
does
maybe
like
she
this.
already knows ASL completely and there's nothing more to learn, and that's why that's the lie.
Love is like.
I'm going Buc-ee's.
Isn't this like? I'm pretty sure this is like.
Yeah, I'm
That's
pretty sure
hang
that's
loose.
what she does. Something.
That's hang loose.
No, but
like
that's like-
Hawaiian.
I'm pretty sure this is.
I'm gonna pull it up
You
on
don't-
Instagram.
Dude.
I'm pretty sure you don't wiggle it, but like this
I
is
apologize
something.
to any of our deaf listeners, and that sounds funny to say, but they listen through the subtitles and captions.
Yeah.
But like, this is thank you. This is I'm getting these right. Okay.
My mom worked with special needs
A
kids, so I know some
B
as well.
C D.
I'm pretty sure this is toilet.
No, wait, isn't that T or an M? That's an M. Oh, maybe but rotating your hand.
Yes, this is toilet. I think, and this is poop.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
the
this is-
basics. He
this
knows
is
the
poop.
I
basics.
mean, my mom's working
Yeah.
with elementary
Yeah.
age kids who can't speak, so like
We-
going to the bathroom is one of the most important things to know.
We taught a few of my kids when they were non-verbal, as they put it, like how to ask
This
for
is
things.
like
Yeah.
hungry.
Yes, hungry. Like, yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool, actually. I was like, he's communicating with me and he can't even talk. And, like, it was so crazy. I'm like, this is
That's
amazing. Okay. So the answer.
I'm going Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's
I'm
and-
going number 2.
number 2. He's
You're going number two?
All right, Ben will be right back. He's going.
Guys, I'm going.
Yeah, you can't see a sign language. Okay.
Whatever.
Nick, what did you say?
Buc-ee's.
Okay. The lie is the sign language.
Darn it,
I was
What an
I
intricate
was
thing to
onto it, I
lie
feel
about,
like.
though.
I was really
Like,
thinking that.
dude! She puts up something in like her.
It's probably like the
post. She puts up,
stereotypical like
a
heart.
does West Side. I'm
West
telling you.
Side.
All right.
for West Side discs.
So
Yeah.
it's
She does West Side.
if you teach yourself to do something with your opposite hand or arm, that's good for your brain.
That's like.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I don't know.
Evan.
I don't know what that.
You're up, man. You're up. We
Thank
got
goodness, because
Yeah.
I don't do good at the answering part. Except last week, I crushed Judge That Disc Golfer.
Yeah.
So what am I saying?
Yeah.
Ugh.
we got a new segment that I've never heard of before. I mean, it's obviously a game kind of like we did, but it's a totally different like theme to it, and I think that's pretty cool. So what do you got, Evan?
Yeah, so I got some new kind of stat categories to go over. We're working on a lot of
Ooh.
things over here, and I'll give a shout out to Doug Tyus. I always forget how to pronounce his name, but Doug, you might know him as Disc Golf Doug, posted on social media. He
My boy.
works on a lot of cool things, but one of them is kind of mapping the entire elite and major season, every single hole into kind of characteristic bits. So, if we get some things like, total distance is at a par 3, 4, or 5, but he'll map it out into how wooded it is.
Wow.
Does it go left or right, up or down, elevation wise? Does it have a ton of OB? Is it by the fairway? Is it by the green? Is there an elevated basket? Is there an elevated green? I could go on and on. So what we can do with this is come up with a lot of cool stats and segment out these types of holes that are similar in certain natures and figure out the best players at those holes.
What type of hole
So-
is Casey White good at? No.
Yeah, well, Casey, you tell me what type of hole you think's best, and I'll plug it in, and I'll run it during the game if you want.
Whoa.
But, or we can do it afterwards if you're curious about it. But how the game will go is I'll say this kind of category. For instance, this is the real first one, and I only list 3 players. So you're going to tell me who's the best of these 3 players, and it's multiple choice. So, sorry, excuse me. This is a wooded hole that is 300 feet or less. And that's all it is for the 2023 Major and Elite season in FPO. And you're going to say who you think's the best player of these 3 players. Kristen Tatar, Owen Scoggins, or Alexis Mandujano. And that's a wooded hole that's 300 feet or less. And again, how this works is it's all the holes they played in the season. And we're comparing their scores to the average score of tour card holders. So it's how many strokes gained they have to tour card holders. They have all played over 50 holes throughout the whole season. There's not a ton, but there's enough to kind of get true numbers of wooded holes that are 300 feet or less. And don't think just like crowded trees, but it's also like the fairway is kind of tighter because of trees. Like one to think of is like hole 6 at Maple Hill.
Hole 4 at Maple Hill.
Yeah, well, hole 4 at Maple Hill, definitely. But hole 6, it has some trees around the green, so that's definitely wooded in nature. But you think it has some open space, but it's still considered wooded, is where I'm getting at. There's a lot of other examples I could say. Could go on and on about what is wooded or not, but we're going to keep it simple and just the fact that it's wooded. So I'll say the names again. Kristen Tatar, Owen Scoggins, and Alexis Mandujano. Who do you think has the most strokes gained to tour card holders?
I'll take Alexis.
Wooded holes.
Yep, I'm going with my gut. My gut says Alexis. The only other argument would have been Owen because she's a putting wonder and she can shred the woods with her forehand. But I think it's Alexis.
I'll say Kristen.
I'm going Alexis as well. Evan put in Owen to make it too obvious.
What?
All
It's
right.
recency bias, but the reason I didn't pick Kristen is because what I watched at U.S. Women's, and that's probably the only reason. But okay,
She won?
no, where I watched how she played, whether she won or not, her last round she was disappointed in. Okay,
Yeah, disappointed while winning the Grand Slam.
Darn.
I get where you're going at, Matt, but it's still kind of funny to look at, so I'm sorry. The correct answer is Kristen Tatar.
Yeah. I don't know why you guys would think.
Guys, it's
I don't
too
know why
obvious.
you guys would think
It's
differently.
too obvious.
It's too obvious. Exactly. We're playing the game.
They're both great players on those short wooded holes as well, but Kristen Tatar is the number 1 player in the world for a reason.
I just know
She's
that like
good at a lot of
Alexa's
different
name
types
is
of
up
holes.
there on the leaderboard, and she doesn't throw the farthest, so she's got to get her stroke somewhere. I figured that was like the category where she would just like slaughter everyone.
man, she came into Maple Hill, didn't
Fair
win,
enough.
but neither did Alexis. I don't see her playing that great in the woods, but I guess she did.
I would like to.
she lost by
300 feet. 300 feet
She
is what
lost
we're
by
talking about.
1 stroke at Maple Hill. It's not like she lost by 15. So
I would
2
like
years
to,
in a row, she has lost by.
So that's an interesting
playoff.
question, which I don't know if you're going to get there. But is she the best then at every hole, and we should just pick Kristen for everything?
That's why Nick took the safe route, and I just was like, I want to pick somebody else.
Yeah,
Safe
we'll
route
get
gets
to
you
it.
points.
Yeah,
We're-
points.
We're going to switch over to MPO, but going to keep the wooded nature. I'm pushing the distance back just a little bit. So
Okay.
this is wooded holes that are 333 feet or shorter on tour. The names are Isaac Robinson, Adam Hammis, or Matt Oram.
Oh my goodness!
They have all played
I
80
know.
plus holes season at that type.
Wow.
So this is a wooded hole,
I'm taking Birdo.
300.
333 feet or shorter.
I'm taking
And
Birdo.
this season, just a majors and elite. Sorry, would you say Casey?
Oh, sorry. Birdo is Matteo. We call him Birdo.
Okay.
Hootie hoo.
Why did you say hootie hoo? What's the story?
Kind of want to say Matteo as well. Who says hootie who?
Isaac
Oh,
Robinson.
that's what I thought he says all the time.
But man, I just don't know the hole lengths here don't make a big difference in my mind. If you said
That's what I
400
call
feet in
him,
the
at least,
woods or
hootie-hoo.
300 feet, like
Well, Adam
this question
Hammis is,
doesn't
like,
change a lot
A
for me.
really good pick too, because he can like
I'll
throw
go
in a
Adam.
zone on every
That's-
single
yeah.
one of those holes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going with hootie hoo.
So you both
That's
did
what I call
Matteo.
Matteo. Hootie hoo.
I did Isaac, and Nick
Adam.
said Adam.
and I'm taking Birdo.
Okay. Yeah, this is tricky because of the distance. You know, I just did 333 feet or shorter. There's not a lot of holes, but Adam Hammis is the best of those. by a good actually margin. I didn't say the last one. I'll get to it in a second, but he has 3.45 strokes gained to tour record holders on the season per 18 holes. I should specify that. Matt Oram is at 2.89 and Isaac Robinson at 2.64. So considerable lead out of those. They were all near the top. I don't know if they were the top three. And then to the first question with the women, Kristen Tatar had 4.31 strokes gained to tour record holders per 18 holes. Owen Scoggins at 3.41, almost a full shorter, and Alexis Van der Hotto 3.35, also almost a full stroke, not shorter, behind.
300 feet in the woods.
All right. This next one, ditching the wooded aspect to it, we're going to the women, a left to right fairway.
This is the type of statistics I wanted.
Fades to the right. And we're looking at all par threes that fade to the right, any distance. So it's a left to right fairway. Each of these players have played over 100 holes in the season at elite and majors. Kristen Tatar, Holden Hanley, and Anakin Sten.
Come on. Anakin's a lefty, just so you guys know.
Thanks for the help.
I mean, it's
Anakin.
just like fair game. Anakin Steen.
Holland.
Kristen Tatar, Holland Hanley, and Anakin Sten. Sten is apparently that's how Terry Miller pronounces it, so I'm trying to do the same. Which also the same with Kristen
I don't think it's
Tatar.
correct. According to Big T, Trusvik, he says Steen, but I mean, I don't know.
Then Terry's wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you say? I met that guy, but I don't know. True. I can't roll my L. He does it so well. Well, it's his.
He's the
it's his name.
Him, just call him Big T, man.
True.
That's why we gave him the name Big T, because it's really bad how nobody can say his name correctly.
It's hard.
So would I be crazy not to say Kristen here, or is this her weakness?
How far is it?
All distances, par threes that go left to right.
Holland Hanley.
They fade to the right.
She throws. So
I think
Kristen
Holland's a
throws
great
four
pick on
hands.
this, actually.
I actually was waiting to pick Emily Beach.
I'm going sneaky Steen.
I'm gonna pick Kristen. Yeah, you guys like that?
Nick Carl.
Like I never picked her.
Yeah, we're all going Nick Carl.
I kind of like the Holland pick.
Yeah, I'm taking Holland.
Was that her expertise? I forget. We interviewed
her.
her.
Freaking
shot, yeah.
smoke
She just
job
talked
sidearm.
about it.
Yeah.
She talked about it recently in an interview. I wish I could remember our interview.
Anakin.
What is it, Evan?
All right. The correct answer is Kristen Tatar.
What?
I have learned my lesson. That's all I'll say. I'll just pick her.
It's not very close, which is
Okay.
amazing. I didn't necessarily do the top three, but three players near the top. Kristen Tatar is at 6.94 strokes gained to tour record holders per 18 holes. Holland Hanley's at 2.38.
Damn.
That's
Wow.
And Anakin's Steen or Sten is at 2.92, so higher, but still not very close.
Wow.
I'm going to say that's Kristen's very strong suit. She has an incredible forehand. We all do know this, but that's really incredible when you see the numbers.
Yeah, that's what went through my head was, oh, she's so forehand strong as well. Like, I'm going to pick her. Learned my lesson.
No,
All
I'm
right.
gonna pick Kristen. I'm gonna be wrong.
That's what
I'm not keeping. I'm not keeping track of points whatsoever.
That's okay.
So
I have two.
I have one.
ooh, look, Nick.
I have 0.
All right. Well, let's open it up.
Let's do it.
We're looking at open holes where I actually got to explain this
Crokinole.
next stat. I think we might have shared this on the show, but I'm not totally sure. It's called CURDS. It's circle in regulation distance per shot.
Oh, I already got my pick.
Yeah, didn't Westy
You don't even
Akers
need to give
invent
me
that?
multiple choice.
Yeah, Westy, that's a good one, Ben.
Westy.
That's what I
fight,
heard.
Fight. Okay, go ahead.
No, he credits me every time. He's very cool about it. He uses it really well, which is awesome to
No,
see.
yeah, I know. I
It's
just saw
pretty
him
much-
using it.
Yeah, it pretty much takes the circle out of the equation and then sees like how far you need to throw per. It's just how far you need to throw per shot to get a birdie. This is on curds where it's 420 feet or greater, so they're longer holes, but specifically open, not wooded. They are open. Eagle McMahon, Calvin Heimberg, or Gannon Berg.
Wow, I can't believe that my pick wasn't even on there.
Who was your pick?
Aaron Gossage, are you kidding me?
Birdo.
Ooh, he was on this list, but
Birdo.
he
I
was
love it.
high, but all three of these players, I believe, were higher.
All right. I mean, eagle. Why not?
Explain it one more
Yeah,
time, if
I'm
not
very
for me,
confused about the
for the
curves.
listeners a little bit. You're saying
Okay,
how far you have to
so-
throw.
Simple thing is long open holes.
Mhm.
Who's the best? But what
Okay.
it's technically is curds, which is circle and regulations,
Mhm.
distance per shot. How far you need to throw per shot is 420 feet or greater.
To be able to get the
So,
birdie.
If it's a 500-foot hole, this is part of it. A 500-foot par 3, excuse me, because par is matters. A 450-foot par 4 would not qualify for this.
Okay.
I'll go Calvin.
I do like a Calvin pick
I'm
on
taking
this one,
Eagle.
but so Eagle, Calvin,
Borg.
or Gannon.
Calvin,
I'm gonna go Eagle, and the reason why
he's good.
backhand
already have a
and
lead.
forehand.
Now, his forehand's like a little Simon forehand now.
Well, now it is, but
Westies in the chat said he stole the
Yeah,
idea
this-
from Statmando.
Oh.
No,
is this regarding
he
the
knew this.
2023
can't
season? Correct.
confirm. They invented
Just
it.
2023 majors and elite.
All right.
Major.
I'll
and
still go
elite.
Eagle.
All right, is that everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
The answer is Calvin
Of course.
Heimberg.
I need to
Yes,
start picking
back
the
to back.
5.56 strokes gained to target holders per 18. Gannon was next at 5.28. Eagle was at 4.26.
I was kind of hoping Simon was going to be on that list.
No.
But was it at Deglow where he was really good at the par 4s, but not the par 3s? Was that a stat? I know Owen's stat
Owen
was
didn't get a single
shoot,
two.
yeah,
Owen
whatever.
won.
But didn't Simon
Yeah.
Simon gained a bunch of strokes? Was it on the par 4s there?
I think it was the par 4s, and it was specifically the 3 out of the last 4 holes. Those par 4s
Okay.
was like absolutely insane.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but those, again, with the Owen status specifically, you don't need to throw as far for a par 4 that's only 150 feet longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
shorter per shot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Deglow is that, but just the
Yeah.
general idea.
No, I get what you mean.
I mean,
All
they're
right,
like,
we're going to FPO and switching it around. We're going a right to left fairway. Again, all distances, but just par 3s. We have Kristen Tatar, Missy Gannon, and Haley King.
Haley King.
H. Kizzle.
Kristen.
I'm doing it this time. I'm not doing it.
This is when it's going to be Haley, but
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing
All right,
I'm
that was
picking
quick.
Kristen.
Ben.
Yeah, not a lot.
H. Kizzle.
No, Ben,
Okay.
he went H. Kizzle. The answer is Haley King.
Yes, I got 2 points.
Which I think
yeah,
is
sorry,
which I
Casey.
think is great.
We got 3 now.
Flipped it right on you.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
thought that
expected
might
it.
trick people because she's got a good
Yeah.
forehand. Haley King does. So you'd think it'd be good at both. But Haley King with 4.15, Missy Gannon with 3.33, Kristen Tatar with 2.57.
Wow, Missy was
which
sick.
obviously is still a good number, but they got him out behind. They all have played at least 100 holes like that on tour, which is really crazy that it's that big of a difference.
Mhm.
All right, this is the last official one, but then I do have a bonus one if we need to. Points updates.
I have
You
3.
guys repeat
I have
back.
2.
One.
I came back.
I
Zero?
came all the way
I
back.
think I have
Yeah,
0.
Casey, you might be zeroing
Should
out
I,
right
should
now.
I do this Matt one where you get
You get 5
Yeah.
points.
Whoever,
No, this is a
whatever
single
you
point
need to catch
question.
up.
Sorry, Casey. Should have
That's
been
okay.
better.
That's all right.
He gets 3 if he gets it
Kidding.
right. I'll give him
Kidding
one
on
of
the
mine.
harshness.
I'll give him one of mine.
We are looking at holes that are that gain elevation. I don't know the best way to describe that, but they go up. If someone can think of a better way to describe
An
that, please let me
elevated-
know.
Uphill shot.
Yeah, uphill.
It's an uphill shot. Yeah, it's an uphill shot that's at least 333 feet, and just looking at par 3s.
Does it have
You're
an
doing a lot of
elevation
par 3s.
requirement? It could be a foot up. That's it, as long as it's up.
There you can like it's again. This is done subjectively.
Okay.
You can have a hole that's overall it can be flat. So if it goes only up by like 10 feet, it's probably going to be considered flat. I mean, 10 feet's
Okay.
kind of more than you think, but think about it like actually
Uphill.
is an uphill.
Got it.
mark.
So like hole 10 at Maple
Um,
Golds is
yeah.
an uphill
Yes,
shot.
that one
But
is
that's,
definitely
Now what about hole
classified.
7 at Maple Hill Golds?
I'd say
Is
it's
that an
uphill.
uphill shot.
I'd say uphill.
Dude, hole
Yeah,
8 is an uphill
I-
shot. It is. Hole 8 at Maple
Yeah,
Hill is an
in
uphill shot.
actuality.
Wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Think about it.
That's a good question. So hole 7 is considered uphill. I did pull Maple Hill, but hole 8 is not. Again, it's subjectively.
Yeah.
Would love to map this out because it would be very cool.
LiDAR,
But as of
baby.
now, Yeah, would be awesome. So the names are Ezra Robinson, Kyle Klein, and Nate Sexton.
Kyle Klein.
Kyle Klein.
I'm going my boy Ez Robbie.
I'm going Kyle Klein.
Uphill shot, 333 feet or more on just par threes. 3 Kyle Kleins and 1 Ezra Robinson, locking it in.
Why did we all feel good about Kyle? I feel like in my head, I'm like,
point.
that's his throw.
So my first year of playing D-Glow in
Yeah.
2019,
You
I
watched
actually
him
played
shred the
with
hills.
Kyle,
Yeah.
shred the wood, the uphill shots.
hills,
it was
yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
And
I
this
just felt like it was
this is 4 years ago, and he was
I play a lot of
murdering
practice
him.
rounds with Kyle, and
Yeah.
he throws it far.
I put Kyle on this list for a reason.
yeah. But
And then
it,
didn't really think why, but you're making great points. And like D-Glow is a good point. He
but
plays
it's
down
not
really
the
low.
answer. You put him on for a reason. You said.
Yeah.
I put him on for a reason because he
Because
is
he won.
good, but it is not the answer.
Ez
Uh,
Robbie, come on.
Ezra Robbie,
Yes.
then Penny
I got 3.
gets the point. He has 6.3.
All right, let me bring myself up
Nate
here to celebrate.
Sexton
You can just keep
is
it like
second
that.
on this list with 5.03, and Kyle Klein's at 4.92. All fantastic numbers, and that's a lot of strokes to be gained if you think about it. That's like Ezra Robinson's getting more than the open holes. But I mean, then you could argue, yeah, there's maybe if it's wide open, there's less scoring separation.
Matt.
Cool things all around.
Barn burner.
Barn burner.
0 for your boy.
All right, Nick and Casey, you guys can play this last one, but we'll have this is how the tiebreaker is going to work. I'm going to say the 3 names, Matt and Ben. The first one to say who the right answer is gets to lock it in. Once you say it, you're locking it in. So I'm going to say all 3 names first, and then I'll say the stat category. And again, first one to say it gets to lock it in. I mean, not that it's like the most obvious one, but just saying that's how we're going to deal
Kristen.
with. No, you guys can't pick the same one.
Kristen.
Yeah.
It's MPO, Gannon Burr, Calvin Heimberg,
Gannonburg.
Zach Arlinghouse. Okay, Matt, you have all the time in the world to choose between Calvin Heimberg and Zach Arlinghouse. We're looking at left to right fairways, all distances, par 3s. So it fades to the right.
Zach Arlinghouse is so specific.
I missed the second name.
Calvin.
Oh, it's
Calvin
Calvin.
Heimberg.
The lefty? Oh, frick. Oh, he's like ambidextrous or something.
He is.
He throws righty?
He
Yeah.
tries.
He does.
I'm gonna-
Work
I am-
ready forehands.
I think it's crazy not to go Gannon or Calvin, but you said I can't go with he picked Gannon.
You can't go Gannon because Ben already locked it
All
up.
right. Well, then because I can't do that,
Zach Arlinghouse.
yeah, I'm going Zach. I mean, I don't want to underplay Calvin's abilities, but like
Lefty back end,
I
Righty side arm.
I literally watched one of
Yeah,
his
but
reels.
Gannon's
I watched one of his
sidearm
reels today. Like he
nasty.
threw like his flip up dealio. So yeah, lefty.
Delio. The flip of Delio. That's amazing.
I don't know if that's a new discraft
I
is, but
want to hear
Wait.
Nate Doss on DGN commentary saying he's throwing a flip up dealio.
What is that?
Matt, I'm sorry. I got lost in all that. You said Zach Arlinghouse
Yeah.
officially?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Nick, did you want to have a fun answer?
I mean, I would have said I think Gannon, the way that he throws.
right. Correct answer
Heimberg.
is Calvin Heimberg.
Oh, rubber match.
I don't have another question to go through the bonus, so we'll do who's the next best of this list, and that was Gannon Burr. Calvin Heimberg has 3.98
Yay.
strokes gained per 18 to tour card holders. Gannon Burr is at 3.64. Zach Arlinghouse is at 3.51. Man, I knew Casey was going to be on it. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. I
Wait,
guess I
wait.
did, but I didn't think about this in that way. But having the lefty / righty forehand
Yeah.
player on the fade right.
After
Tricky
this, why
Gotcha.
didn't we ask Casey in studio 2 truths, 1 lie? We should do it later. He has to think of it.
All right. I've kissed a girl. I've kissed a guy. And
I
Just
wrote,
both at the same time. That's what my brain went, but that would
that's where
work.
my
That would-
brain went.
That would make sense, I don't think.
All right. We're really close to closing out, but we're doing this for Casey because he says he's ready to take it down.
Oh, I
we're
know.
doing our last one. We did this last week. We're not going to do this every week, everybody, but we think we're going to change it up this week a little bit by just asking straight up for Instagram usernames. You literally just have to get it right. There's no multiple choice.
You said
It's
you're
yes
gonna
or
be
no.
nasty?
I'm excited for this.
It's such a cool game.
Is this all of us or just Casey?
All of us. Come on.
We'll do all of us.
Thank you.
But we'll just
Write it
have
down,
honor
yeah.
system between you guys. Casey says it out loud. The rest of you go, yes, that's what I said, or no, that's not what I didn't. Honor system.
Okay.
All right, but
Sounds
don't
great.
say it right away, Casey.
Well, if he's quick, he's quick. He beats you to it.
Oh, my.
All right, here we
Casey
go.
dis-
Let's do it.
Ready?
Yep.
Like chime in when you get ding or something. Here we go. Instagram username for Ricky Wysocki.
That's easy.
I think it's underscore Saki Bomb underscore.
Hold the mic up a little closer. Underscore.
Saki Bomb underscore.
Anybody else disagree? Agree?
Disagree.
I
Okay,
disagree.
the only
I
other
thought it was
thing-
Ricky underscore Wysocki.
I think it's actually there might be a 13. It might be like Saki Bomb 13.
Ding.
Ooh, that's my
First
exact
to get
guess.
it right.
Oh,
Casey.
oh,
that
that's
was your guess.
Wait,
Evan?
what? I wrote mine
Soggy
down.
Bomb
What is it?
13.
Soggy Bomb underscore 13.
Nope. Just Saki Bomb
Frick.
13.
Saki Bomb.
What is up with
I
me
had
and these
Saki
underscores?
Casey got it
I
right.
had Saki Bomb. No, I had Saki Bomb 13 written
Wait,
down.
is it the
All
first
right,
one to
okay.
say it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that
let's
one.
do the first one to say it. How about that?
Okay.
That's fun.
All right.
No screaming. Chime in. I'll call you if you get it. Then we move on. Okay, here we go. Number 2. Cole Radalin.
Cole underscore Radalin.
You got it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
Number 3. Paul Uliberry.
one Yuli.
Yeah,
Casey.
Oh,
got
one
it.
Yuli.
good. That was
Casey got it.
good.
Are
we
Everyone
supposed to
knew
chime
that.
in?
but-
Well, we
just-
were, but
it's
now it's just
fast action.
now it's just fast.
I'm kidding. I didn't have that one.
We have a
faster.
little internet delay for Evan.
Oh no.
Just kidding. We don't. All right. Henna Blumroos.
No idea.
Blomroos, but the
I think it's
Oos
like
is zeros.
Henna Blomroos
No,
underscore.
Blomroos Henna.
I think it's Blomroos.dg or something like that. No,
Blomroos Henna.
I'll give you a hint. Henna Blumroos.
Underscore.
that's it.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
almost said that's it. I put the underscore in for the heck of it, but I was like,
Nice.
I almost
Straight
said
up.
that's
I
actually
flipped it.
Straight up her name. Okay, here we go. Number 4. There's only wait, 1, 2, 3. Number 5. There's only 2 left, and I'll give my best pronunciation. Likke Lorentzen.
Throw like lucky. Throw
underscore
like
like underscore lucky.
It's so long to say it.
Yeah.
That's correct. Throw underscore
Good
like
job.
underscore lucky. Finally, Sai Ananda.
Sai
Sai
par
par
Ananda.
Ananda. Sai underscore par
Dot. I
underscore
thought it was
Ananda.
dots. Sai dot par
Ooh.
dot Ananda.
There it is.
Yosh.
Ben got it. Sai dot. Par dot.
I thought the underscore was the way to go.
Dots.
Dots,
Kristen
apparently.
Tatarda's dots too. There's something there. Dots or underscore. Are you an underscore guy
classy
or a
way.
dot?
You know, I was waiting for like the throw, like you were gonna
Wait.
throw me a curveball, like somebody already changed their username
Oh,
this
yeah.
off season or something.
Chris
Yeah.
Clemenade.
No, not that one.
Yeah.
I have one for you guys.
Yeah.
Casey White.
Casey White 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say it's Casey White. I didn't
It's right
remember the
there.
number.
All right,
Why do
I-
you have a 4?
Oh, yeah, it's on
hockey
screen.
number.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's on the screen.
Yeah, it's on screen. That's the only reason I knew it.
Oh, okay.
Were-
Wow, thought we were good friends.
Were you upset when that criminal Casey White got popular? Were you upset because now when you search up Casey White, you have to say disc golf?
No, because people who have never found my YouTube channel ever in their life found it and were like, "Hey, you're not the criminal. I'll give you a subscribe." Like,
Really?
yeah, like
That's
people were
crazy.
commenting on my videos like
What's-
every day.
It was like Mac Miller's
What?
manager was Big Germ or something like that. He was like a famous producer named Big Germ, and so a lot of people actually hit up Jeremy Colling
Oh.
thinking that he's Big Germ, the music
really?
guy.
Ah, I didn't know that.
And yeah, there's some funny story that goes along with that.
Okay.
But
I would like to quiz the room because
Do
I'm
it.
pretty certain about some of these. What is Emerson Keith's Instagram?
Emmer
username?
Daddy.
Emmer Daddy 44.
No.
Emerson.
Emerson.
Emmer
Dot-
Daddy underscore TX.
Yes, he's got it.
TX.
Okay, next one. Ready?
Yep.
Holland Hanley.
We
Oh, we did this one.
Oh,
It was like
like
Hall
Hall 7.
17.
Underscore 17.
Hall 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
already
did this one
that
last week.
All
Yeah.
right. Let me think of one more.
I thought of doing the game this way too.
What's
I think it's
Simon's?
pretty good.
Simon underscore.
Simon was
We already did
underscore,
that.
underscore.
Macbeth.
Same
All
thing, pretty
underscore
much.
Macbeth.
Oh man, come on. Give me one more. I'm just trying to think of literally anybody on tour.
Isn't it hard to think up in the
What is
moment?
Jeff Bricks on username?
No idea.
Brick
House.
Yeah, Brick House.
Yeah.
something?
How did I know
is
that?
it
I don't
really?
know, but
Yeah.
let's go. I don't know Jeff Brick.
How about
What? Trevin.
Ooh,
Trevin Crow.
Trevin 1107 or
No,
something.
it's Trevin 0711.
Oh wait,
Oh,
what is my
perfect.
memory?
how
What is my
about
memory? That's crazy.
Bradley Williams?
Yeah, it's so funny, man. I was literally about
B.
to say,
Willie.
what is Bradley Williams?
Wow. Bradley DG.
You're on
Is
the
it
right
Bradley
track.
Disc Golf?
Bradley Disc
Bradley
Golf.
Yeah.
Disc Golf. Yeah. So
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
deal.
Pretty, yeah.
Um,
Nick Carl.
Disc Golf Nick Carl. The worst the worst thing to ever try and tag somebody is to have to type out all of disc golf before you can finally go NIC. And then he's changed his profile picture, so you're like, oh my god, am I even
Doesn't it
tagging the
normally
right
pop
one?
up when you I guess
I
disc
start
golf, a bunch
typing
of other
Nick
things will come up.
usually.
Type disc golf NIC.
Paul's always said that. He's like, when are you just going to change the freaking name to Nick Carl? And I was like, I don't know. I just always forget
Just
about
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Nick
at this
Carl.
point.
I start typing Nick,
retiring.
and
Probably taken,
sometimes it works. How about this one? Terry D. Miller,
Terry,
The
and
disc golf guy.
the disc golf guy.
Oh yeah, that was so
Actual
obvious.
drink
How
me
about
up. Oh my
Philo?
goodness.
What's Philo's?
Philo.
Team Philo.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Philo.
Team
Team
Philo.
Team
Yeah, that's
Philo.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Team Philo.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm nasty,
yeah.
guys.
Parker Welk.
Disco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That was,
Disco.
Y'all are too. I need time to think, and then I can.
You
do
got the
good.
sound
Oh,
delay,
my
Evan.
goodness.
Sorry.
No, he doesn't.
No,
Corey.
I got the brain delay.
chain antagonist.
Corey.
Chain underscore.
Oh, shout out Corey. Just won an A tier. Fall colors down in Virginia.
Wow.
So there are still tournaments going on, but
All right, James Conrad.
James Conrad 3.
yeah.
Aye,
James
aye, aye.
underscore Conrad underscore.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
Right? Yeah.
That's the only part I know.
Yeah. Aye.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Is there anything we missed that we should talk about? Not really. Is there anything, Casey?
Yes, I would like to say something.
Anything.
All right. Well, we were just talking on Saturday, Matt and I at Team Challenge.
Oh yeah. Sorry about handing you a loss. Our team to your team. Just saying.
I won
you know.
both my matches. You
Okay.
got nobody to say sorry to
Team
here.
sport.
But,
All right. Fine.
Yep.
Fine.
I know that you said that your sons aren't really fans, like they're not like hardcore fans. However,
They're hardcore fans of the sport.
yes, but like they're not like a
They don't
diehard
choose
for one
somebody.
player.
Yeah, exactly. But you're in the house
and
and they're listening
I
upstairs.
think you might need some wall art, so I brought in a Skywalker.
Oh, they will
Hey.
absolutely. Are you
Sign
giving
them.
that to them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They will
house.
love that. So when I say not a fan of an individual, they're a fan of the sport, and any event that they're at, if someone like you, and I don't mean to underplay who you are, but like a Ben Calloway walks over and he goes, "Here's a patch off my bag." Do you do that kind of stuff? Like you're doing? You're handing out a disc here.
I mean, like at MVP, the Skywalker just came out, and I gave away like 10 when I finished on 18
Very
at
cool.
the final round. Like I threw them out into the crowd, but like I usually have everything I need for a very important tournament round when I play a tournament round. So I can't just like surrender any item
Yeah.
that I have because I have everything I need, and
Right.
I don't want to carry anything more. Where, like,
True.
Simon doesn't care about discs, so what's a disc to him? He just chucks them away, gives the whole bag away.
Well, that's very cool that you brought that. They're going to love that, and it's really, really nice of
And
you. And where can they get those?
You can get a Skywalker at Disc Golf 978, first of all.
The best.
But you can also get them at discmania.net. There should still be some available. This is the purple and blue. I bagged
Oh,
the
man, it looks
yellow
really good.
and-
Go full screen on it.
or
We
the,
want to
the
see that.
pink
Hold that.
and
Yeah, there you
pale
go.
green, the radish. But
Look at
the
that.
radish.
Yeah, the
Skywalker.
radish.
What a
I love it.
beauty.
I can't see the camera.
We
Okay.
can see it. It's
there
nice.
is. All right. And one more thing, though. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but all year long I've been repping these Casey White socks
Oh, I thought they were
What?
Nike
from
Elites. That's crazy.
Top Flight Disc Golf. You should check out Top Flight Disc Golf. if you want a
Ben,
pair
do you
of-
need any socks?
They look like Nike Elites, and that's why I like them. But they got
Guys.
my logo on them, and they're pretty cool. But I brought you guys each
Oh,
a pair
no.
of socks.
This
Here,
is
look.
Ben's foot, everybody.
No,
it just made its
I
way
brought a
in the
pair for
camera.
You guys.
Come on.
Oh, Casey, what a
Oh,
guy.
Hey, you just took all three, bro. You're
What a
supposed to
guy.
The
hand
week
them out.
I don't come in studio.
You
Yeah,
got a
sorry.
dog.
I actually brought the fourth pair for you, Evan, right here. But
Oh, nice.
Yo, I
Ooh.
need I literally don't have socks on.
15%
Thank you.
polyester, 5%.
but yeah, check out Top Flight Disc Golf if you want a cool pair of socks with my
Sick.
logo on them.
The whole time I thought you were wearing custom Nike Elites, and I'm like, that is the coolest thing ever. Because Nike Elites were like,
They basically are.
no, they are. I'm just saying, like, I thought they were from Nike.
gotcha.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
you
keep
somehow
thinking that.
Top flight, Ben.
Top Flight, baby. No, guys, if you were a middle schooler like me, Nike Elites were like the hot commodity.
Goated.
With this,
You were-
with this,
Is that all of us?
with this design on the back is what I'm saying. Is what it's
They
referencing.
cost
guy-
the same amount as Nike Elites.
True.
Speaking of
Free to
Santa,
us.
Santa
Thank you.
Claus, speaking of Santa Claus, are you doing Vlogmas, Casey? What's
Absolutely
up?
not.
No? All right.
Not a chance. I was a slave to my phone for a month last year, and I didn't even have a girlfriend back then, and now I do. So there's not. No, I just can't do it. It's
Yeah,
like
that's a lot.
It's a lot of work, and it's like terrible weather, and I'm trying to convince myself that playing disc golf is a good idea. I'm also trying to convince myself that sitting in front of a camera for 30 minutes blabbing on about nonsense is a good idea. Like it's just it was so tough. I'm glad that I did it just
Yeah.
to know that I know I'm capable of doing it, and I'm not just like a bitch forever. But like I don't know, I'm just like I'll just do my normal pace and not exhaust myself when it's supposed to be like relaxing off season time.
I got a quick question. Wesley's actually brought it up a couple times, but he said next week pace of play rule change. What's the massive rule change in pace of play? Do we know off the top of our
the
heads?
whole card
can be warned.
Yes, and it's like hole to hole.
Sick.
It's hole to hole, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not likely that's going to happen unless a TD drives out there or like a tournament official. That's
We've
my
had to do it.
understanding. Yeah, but I'm saying at like a local tournament, it's
Gotcha.
rare, right? I mean, I don't see it happening, but
I am actually, I don't know. I think everybody else needs to just like take their time a little bit more. I think that I am a very fast player, but like I'm all for taking some time when it really counts and when it really matters.
that's my take.
The reason that I take as long as the reason I don't take long at all is because I feel like I need some time when I really need it. That on the shots I don't need it, I'm just going to throw.
Oh, I just thought of another idea, crazy as it is. And Evan, I know we talked about this. We're not going to get deep into it right now. We've actually had this podcast topic a lot, Casey. I know you haven't been a part of it, but I think there's either you hand somebody 1 or 2 times a round where they can opt for extra time, or I don't know if Casey said this, but to bank your extra time. So like if you're throwing in like
terrible idea.
if you throw
I'm sorry.
if you throw in like 5 seconds, Casey, and you want to have more down the road,
I'm calling 55 on the next one.
Yeah, if he throws within 5 seconds, he does have extra time. Another 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were just saying you would want more time, Casey.
Well, no, I am more in favor of like I am calling extra time, not like saying how many seconds did I use on that shot? Because but I'm using the leftovers.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe you missed this. The first take I said was give you 1 or 2 times, or you get to choose that.
I've actually talked about that with Dave Feldberg.
Okay, all right, we're on the same page. Okay, good. It was the
I want
second
to be
one.
noted. I disagree.
They
But
do
I
it,
will
they do
not
it in
go
poker,
further.
and I don't care for it.
It's
30
just
seconds is a lot of time to
Imagine
put
this.
There's a
30
time
seconds is
and a
lot of
place.
time to put a
30
15,
seconds.
20 footer.
Shot
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot of time to put a 20 footer.
how come they have timeouts in every other sport?
I'm talking
Every
TV
other sport.
commercials.
Yeah, I was going to say
Or
TV commercials.
That's
Like,
the only reason there's timeouts.
One of the main
Yeah,
ones.
there's some, but like that's why they have more
Yeah.
timeouts. That's why the NBA has like 7 per half or whatever.
Just saying, there's
yeah.
a time and a place where you need more time, and someone should be able to make that decision.
You know, they did that at Music City Open this year, and I don't know, they might have done it at other tournaments where they said before the lead card was going off, hey, when you're walking from hole 3 to 4, once you get to hole 4, don't throw right away. We have a TV break going on. So chill out for a minute. Everyone hated it.
Yeah.
You just sit there for
really bad.
Uh-huh.
Actually, that's really bad.
Yeah. In college football, they do it. They have TV commercial.
Oh,
breaks.
NFL it happens. Every sport.
Large sport,
If you go to if you go to any sport, like I went to a lot of college football games, Sco Buffs. We were on a lot of the Pac-12. We were on the Pac-12 network, which is like the conference local channel. You have like, it would be a breeze. It's like going to a high school game. When ESPN or Fox would come into town and broadcast the game, which happens a lot more now with Coach Prime. But when they're there, you notice the difference because the TV timeouts feel like they're 8 minutes long. Like there's more TV timeouts. It's like you're there, you notice a noticeable difference when you're watching it as a fan, and it stinks real bad.
Oh, being on,
fun.
being there, the players, everybody,
It's just you're so bored. There's no service. You're cold a lot of the time.
That's almost like playing and being like, wow, why are you taking so long on a 25 footer?
No.
That's how I feel.
That's
I'm
like playing
what
with
am I
Ben.
doing?
Yeah. No, I'm saying,
Sorry,
Ben,
doing?
we like playing with you, but
I'm
we
saying for
make fun
the
of you.
far out, not for the slow player. I'm saying for the player who has a situation that arises where, for whatever reason, and you're going to say, I'm not going to get into it because the point is I'm trying to make is I just feel like there should be 1 or 2 options per round where you're like, I need that. Maybe 1. Just give them 1 option per round.
So my pet peeve is actually the person who needs the extra time is taking the extra time. We're giving him the extra time. The problem is he's wasting his time that he's taking by apologizing for taking so long.
Stop apologizing.
Big Germ did it. Like first hole of the tournament at Idlewild. And he like just landed in a weird spot, like where he didn't know what side of the tree and like was just trying to line it up. And like, I can't tell you how many times he said, I'm sorry, I'm taking so long, guys. I'm like, well,
did he walk from his lie to then on the fairway to his cart and then back to his lie and then back to his cart and then back to his lie? Get rid of carts.
Get rid of cart.
Oh,
Bro, it's
interesting
whole one
take,
Idlewild. Your cart could go anywhere on the fairway on that one.
No, I'm saying, but if you
Interesting.
land in a bad spot, my thing is, if you land in a
No.
bad spot, he's not pulling his cart into the rough.
A bad
And you get
spot
on the
on
cart's
hole one
not
at
the problem.
Idlewild is just
Person
not
using
circle
the cart.
2.
No, it's just it's just, but it's like on the right hand side we're talking about, right?
But like,
Yeah,
I mean, a bad spot on a
Yeah.
really, really easy hole. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you're so scared to not birdie this hole.
Yeah.
Like, that's what hole 1 at Idlewild is.
No,
which
I-
is why I didn't birdie it the first 2 rounds.
Oh, you make me feel so much better about myself in a way. I played it a few times, and Yeah.
Yeah, I got it that 3rd round, and
There you go.
I got the cash by 1.
Hey.
all right.
Just that whole
We
one?
started late, so I was realizing it's fine, but we don't have as long of an episode. But I just want to close out with this because I forgot it last week, and I know we have a lot of European listeners, like we do. And we appreciate them. And we don't mean to hold it till the end of the show like this, but we're not going to get deep into this. But the topic does revolve around the fact that the European Tour is like becoming more legitimate, right? Like it's announced that. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it in America. No, they're like, why is he talking weird? But if that's the case in the European Tour, let's just say all funding, I'm not saying this is the case, but all funding ends up becoming a lot more equal, whether you're in the US or you're in Europe, right? You go play an event there, you play here. Does that mean, and I think it's going to be this way as we get further down the road in disc golf, so players are going to have way more options in the sport to choose for events, way more. And it's going to be, I don't want to say saturated, but it's going to be so much more opportunity that I guess my question is, in the future, are we going to always see every player at each event? Now, I know we're dabbling a little bit now with seeing some players choose not to play. I'm not quite talking just that. I guess I'm saying based off of a player will play this event and some other player will choose a different event, not necessarily take the time off. So I'm saying with the more events that come on an equal level playing field, are we going to start seeing more of that? Like where there's a tour, but there's so much opportunity that not every player goes to every event. They're all different events. You know, like that's the future, right?
I think that is, I mean, I don't know. It's probably possible. Whether or not it would be like a good or a bad thing, I have no idea. How easy it would be for those said players to just like, I don't know, individualize like this is my tour, and then like, I don't know. I see it as the United States already has so many spots in the country that are completely untouched by the Disc Golf Pro Tour that like, if half of the United States players just like pick to skip the western half of the United States, then it's like, I don't know. There's just going to be people that are upset, and that's fine. They have the right to be upset, but at the same time, like these players, like Paul Ulibarri, he's been doing this since 2008. He's been to every corner of the country 16 times over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Like it's time for something new. If these big events are asking for the players to come overseas, then by all means,
right. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And I saw someone actually just comment this, but my thought process when I saw this coming up that maybe the Pro Tour is going to start funding these and like becoming much bigger, like I'm going, well, why wouldn't a player of a great caliber, and I'm not saying Europe's easy, but the field right now at a stacked event in the US is much harder. And I don't think anyone argues with that. I'm not saying,
yeah, it's not even close.
Right. It's not even close. There's good quality of player. I'm not saying there's not like good players, but I'm saying the strength of the field, right, Evan?
I don't mean to knock him, but look at the European Championships. Dennis Augustin took it down by a lot, and then got almost dead last at the USGDC. No offense, but like it is a good comparison.
So if you could, Casey, win just as much, technically the tier as a Pro Tour, whether it's an Elite or Elite Plus or whatever they call it, if the tier was the same, granted you got to get a ticket and you got to be over there, but like, wouldn't it make sense for this is my point. If the opportunity of events grows significantly, look at the PGA, you don't see every good player at the same event every time, unless it's a massive event.
Yeah.
Unless it's and those ones I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the regular tour event. Is that going to happen? And then like, I think it's going to happen. I don't know when.
I don't think to that extent, because they kind of had that with silvers and then intentionally got rid of them. So now like the schedule is lighter to get people at each event they want to. And then the schedule, like you can make your schedule deeper if you want. You can go play in between A tiers like that. That seems like the intention on the US side. I still think that's the plan, But there is a chance, which is part of your point, Matt, that I do think players will hop over to Europe a little bit earlier, or maybe pick and choose when to go over to Europe to get some, extra points. They still haven't come out with the point structure of exactly how those will work. They said that there's tour card spots, there's tour championship spots up for grabs. Who knows what you need to do? You might need to win, or you might need to get top 5. I think like someone right on the cusp of making the tour championship who didn't get it. Like I think like a Robert Burridge had a great season, fell just short, was like 34th place or something like that. He could go over to Europe for just 2 extra weeks, try to get himself let's say a top 5. And if that gets him enough points to make the tour championship or gets him that automatic spot, that's very well worth it. Mm-hmm. You see people do that for USDGC already. They will pick out events to get that USDGC spot. They'll see a late event late in the year where they're like, hey, this is a great one to get it earned. I think that's going to be the same deal. So Casey mentioned the West Coast. I wouldn't be surprised to see people skip the West Coast to get out to Europe. But the way they did it is I'm pretty sure there's no overlapping weekends between the North American Tour and the Europe Tour. So it's not like you pick this event in Europe or this event in the US, but because it's kind of alternating weeks, it's not like you're going to fly back and forth to do it. I don't think someone's going to go play, I don't know if it is an event, but the Belgian Open and then come back and go play Jonesboro or however it works. That is a disc golf.
The Belgian Open.
I knew it was a European Pro Tour, Euro Tour last year. So I was going off of something. But I don't think people are going to be hopping that much. But I do think it's going to be like kind of similar to Paul Macbeth last year, but maybe not to that full extent, which is like, hey, after we finish the, Southeast / kind of Midwest, instead of going out to, OTB and Portland Open, as great of events those are, it makes sense to hop over to Europe a little bit early. And I think more people are going to follow that. So yes, we won't see the best players at all the events because they choose to do something else, but not quite PGA level.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just something my brain started wandering on. I'm like, if the level is going to be, and it's arguable that the level will be the same. I'm not saying like right out of the gate, but like if that gets to that place, payouts are great. The points, you're not losing out on any. You know what I mean? The conversation will always go back to though. You make a better name for yourself if you beat the larger majority of competitors though. So like that's always going to be weighed out. Like we'll even talk about an event way more if all the players are there versus not. Just because it's branded Pro Tour or Elite doesn't necessarily mean we're like, yeah, that's the big one. So that's always going to be part of the conversation too.
Yeah, and a quick note for just your point of the strengths of the fields. I mean, we have the field strengths ranking system at Statmando. Looking at the best European event, which for both MPO and FPO was the European Open. In MPO, it was the 15th strongest event of the season, and in FPO, it was the 23rd strongest event of the season. So the strongest fields are still in the U.S. Either way, even with this major, where many North American players jump over, or Europeans decide to return back to Europe to play, who are in the U.S. Tour, it's still not the same fields. But I think if the Disc Golf Pro Tour puts more money in advertising and Disc Golf Network coverage and tour card spots and tour championship spots, I think you can push the needle a little bit more. But I would be surprised if it's an equal field to, let's say, the counterpart either the week before or after in the US.
Evan, I got a stat for you. Do you know who won the 2023 Belgian Open?
Was that Mari Vilman?
No,
that's a good guess.
That was a great guess. He freaking dominated for a little bit. I believe it was Teemu Talikainen.
Is that Big T or
no? That's Trusvik. Trusvik is the Big T Team Innova Europe manager.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Teemu Talikainen. He's a young kid. He's sponsored by Prodigy. I played with him at the European Open.
Let's go. That's double T right there.
Double T.
All right. In getting ready to close out, I want to shout out my doubles partner at this last weekend.
Steven.
Yes, Steven.
Bernie.
Incredibly good player. He just turned 18 on Saturday. I think, I don't know if you saw how far he was throwing.
I was, unfortunately. Was it? Made me feel very small.
Do you think he can throw 550?
Easy.
Okay, easy. All right, there we go. He's throwing far, which is a big deal, but think to yourself, hole 14. He got the solo 2 on Saturday on hole 14.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean?
I mean, I threw the safe shot.
So technically, got a 2 on that hole.
Okay, so technically, I set him up so he could go green light, but he got the 2.
That's sick.
Whew. Who got the 2 also? You said someone else?
Jano and Billy P. They threw it in.
Oh, okay, throwing. Okay.
Jano.
He did a step
doesn't
jumper.
count.
Yeah.
It was probably like 80 or 90, but still he got it.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, shout out to him. I just saw him in the chat. There you go, Steven. Happy birthday to you again. Good seeing you out
Happy
there.
birthday.
Nick, you want to close it out?
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you for tuning in and dealing with us for another Monday night, episode 164. Once again, presented by Cosmic DG. Thank you to all the sponsors who help make the show happen. Thank you for all of you guys coming into our show week in and week out, hanging out in the chat. Thank you for Casey to coming in. Evan up in New Hampshire. Ben, we don't have a camera for him tonight. Matt and Ben for fixing everything that we needed fixing tonight. Just really appreciate all you guys. We love you guys a ton. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the video. Tell someone you love them this week. Catch you in the next one.
That's right. Hey, Casey, it was really cool having you in. Ben, you're awesome. Casey, you're awesome. Nick, you're awesome. Evan, you're awesome. Peace out, everybody.
The Nick and Matt Show, a disc golf podcast designed for you, the disc golfer. Find the Nick and Matt Show on your favorite podcast platforms or join the conversation live on YouTube.